House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you back controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
You know, people complain about young black male unemployment, so then that leads people in to incarcerate them. You end up with black men being warehoused.
Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. You know what time it is, fam. Welcome to Hump Day. Happy Hump Day to all of you. I want to, first of all, start off by saying thanks to everybody who's going to watch this live and also who will catch it on the re-up. I hope we have a really interesting discussion today because there's a couple of topics that I'm going to bring up. But of course, since it's been a couple of broadcasts, any topic that's happened in the last few weeks, if you want to call in and start a discussion or have a discussion about it, we can do that. But before we get started, fam, make sure you smash the thumbs, whether it's the like or hater button. And if you're here, make sure you pop into the chat, right? Let us know you're here so we can shout you out and show you some love. And if you haven't considered doing so, or you haven't thought about it, haven't known about it, click that join button and take a look. See where you might be able to support your man's work. Definitely appreciate it. No pressure. Trust me, I understand my audience. We ain't the richest folk. So if you can call it, call it. If you can't, I perfectly get it. I'm just glad to be here to provide a service for you anyway, right? So enough with the intro stuff. Let me go ahead and shout out Darker Visions is in the house. As always, welcome, fam. You're a pleasure to see you again. Brother Cool Unk is in the house. What's up, fam? I see you. John Anderson is in the house. Namaste, right? The Cool Man. Salute. Welcome. Sister Ebony is in the house. What's cracking? Yeah. We got a lot of shit to talk about, fam. And I'm not going to try to do too much talking because I really want y'all to call in and share y'all's thoughts, share your situations, your thoughts on what's going on. But of course, the biggest topic there is right now for us here as Americans is the upcoming election. Now, in many states that many of you are located in, voting has already started, right? Especially if your state already has mail-in voting or is instituted mail-in voting because of Miss Rona, right? Brother LaBestia is in the house. Peace, fam. I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. A happy hump day to you. I live in a state where mail-in voting is the norm. So I have already voted. And for those of you who were wondering how I voted and don't follow me on Twitter because you tripping, right? That's at Black Outcast on Twitter, right? I voted green at the top of the ticket. After consulting with my family and talking with my family about it, I just decided to continue my, quadrennial tradition of voting green at the top of the ticket. I don't know much about Howie Hawkins. Angela Walker seemed real cool. I've seen a few interviews with the sister, and she's definitely people's, but it wasn't for the particular candidates. I was voting for the Greens platform. They just represent the platform, right? So voted green at the top of the ticket. And then I voted for initiatives and referenda down ballot. And fam, the best part, I didn't vote for a single fucking Democrat or Republican on my ballot. Not a one. I don't believe in rewarding mediocrity. I don't believe in elevating people who I know are against my interests. I'm not supporting a Democrat or a Republican. For those of you who are members of the ADOS movement who are voting Democratic down ballot, I support you. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand what your strategy is, and I support your efforts in doing that, right? But we have to make it known, fam. We have to make it clear that we are no longer the political thralls of the Democrats. And to be fair, even with all of our efforts that we've been making over the last year, by the way, shout out to Brother Michael and Big Unk. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast and happy hump day to y'all. Even with all the efforts we've made in the last year to educate our tribe, to educate our people politically, we all know that it is likely that the great majority of black ballots are going to be cast for the lousy fucking demon rats. Shalom, Sister Kanuri. I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. I appreciate you. We have to start letting it be clearly understood that we are no longer under the thumb. We are no longer thralls, enslaved to the Democrats. If they do not put forward justice for us. See, fam, because we get it twisted a lot of the time, right? People think that we just want reform, right? That if the Democrats offered to do a little something for us, we'll say, okay. No. Them motherfuckers that had 60 years of black votes and have changed nothing materially about our circumstances. No. At this point, the ask has gone up. We no longer need you to start a new program or, co-sign a new benefit. Nope. We demand justice. We demand that the Democrats and the Republicans or whoever else wants our vote, we demand that they put forward legislation to ensure that the debt that was owed to our ancestors and to us who walk in their shoes, who stand in their stead, is paid. That debt is paid to once and for all, with all of the concomitant legislation regarding protection, programs, systems, eliminations, whatever else it takes. That's the ask. That's the demand. No more fucking putting sweet buttercream frosting on a shit cake and expecting us to eat it politically. It's not happening. We want reparations and a black agenda. Not one or the other one. Both. Do you understand where I'm coming from, family? Without them committing to both reparations, right? Paying the debt owed to our ancestors and to us, and a black agenda, they get nothing. They lose. Good day, sir. It's a wrap. No justice, no repair, no votes. It's as simple as that. And I, for one, have nothing but fucking time. They can run candidate after candidate, election after election. I don't give a shit. I've got nothing but time. I'm perfectly willing to never cast a vote for a Democrat or a Republican again until our demands are met. By the way, shout out to my beloved sister Tiffany and to a producer. I welcome fam. Peace to you, B1. Welcome to the broadcast. Happy hump day to you both. We don't have time to be fucking around with these people. And truth be told, they don't have time to be fucking around with us. Because America can keep playing games. It can keep acting as if this debt isn't owed. It can keep acting like that they ain't got no right that they got to do by us. But America is headed down a bad path. It's headed down the toilet. You can tell this, family, because look at the last two elections. Just the last two. Because one could argue that Barack Obama was pretty much America's last hurrah politically, right? Barack Obama was America's last chance to really do shit right politically. And he was nothing but a fucking milquetoast Republican in a blue suit. Of course, we all know that sniper fire, Hillary Clinton, was no different than any other fucking Republican. Which is why we didn't turn out in 2016 after 8 years of lies to us about hope and change, when everybody was able to get executive orders, legislation, support, every one of our interests, every one of our efforts towards pushing this motherfucker to something resembling justice. You know how them white folks say, oh, well, we got to get Joe Biden in, but then we push him to the left. No. Black Americans put Barack Obama in at 96% of the vote in 2008 and 92% of the vote in 2012. And we worked our asses off to get him to even fucking look at us. And when he would come and talk to us, what we got was moralizing. What we got is demands for more fucking sacrifice. What we didn't get was legislation, programs, policy, support, aid. But if you were Native American, he took care of you. If you were a child of illegals, he took care of you. Hell, even if you were LGBTQIA+, Barack Obama could evolve his positions. But when it came to doing a goddamn thing for the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States, Barack Obama told us clearly that is not how the fuck America works. And we already knew what the fuck we was getting with Hillary. There was no motherfucking way that we was coming out in any great numbers for Hillary Clinton. No way. No way. Bitch, you don't get to consign a whole fucking generation of brothers and sisters that look like me to motherfucking mass incarceration thanks to your friend Jim Crow Joe. Call us predators for simply trying to, I don't know, address the need that we have to eat sometime this fucking month and think that we're gonna vote for you. But now look at 2020. Now, look at 2020. If you are a thinking Black American, by the way, shout out to AB Media 83 and my dear brother Black Man 903 fam, what it do? CKD, long time no see fam. Welcome to the broadcast and happy hump day to you. In 2020 fam, the fact that Joe Biden is the Democratic nominee for president and Kamala Chameleon Harris is VP should be your worst fucking nightmare. It should be the reason why you can't sleep at night. You want to talk about a kick in the teeth, a spit in our face. We had crooked ass Bill Clinton come in and basically destroy every goddamn piece of progress that we could possibly make as a people, while funneling trillions of dollars to his kleptocratic, oligarchical buddies, you know, like Bill Gates. You had Barack Obama come in and complete the work of Clinton, because Barack Obama didn't find a program or regulation that he had no problem with getting rid of when it come to us. The economy collapsed. Barack Obama make the money machine go brrr for the banks, for AIG, for GM. Meanwhile, we got to watch Big Mama lose her house that we grew up in, that we ate Thanksgiving dinners in, because she had the goddamn temerity, the unmitigated gall to fall for some smooth-talking slickster who told her that the equity in her house will allow her to be able to do something good for her family, and gave her a subprime loan with interest rates and a bubble she could never fucking afford. And it wasn't like they was encouraging anybody to read the fine print. Papa one in the chat, fam. If y'all remember, prior to the motherfucking collapse of the economy in 2008, all those commercials on TV where they were like, low paying job, no down payment, no problem. They was throwing checks at everybody to get a motherfucking house. Y'all remember that shit? Between them bullshit ass Everett commercials that was telling you that you was a worthless, low down piece of shit, lazy, shiftless Negro if you didn't call and try to get an education. In between those shitty ass those shitty ass Everett commercials, you had everybody and their mama loaning you motherfucking money to get a house. You had Countrywide. You had some of the big banks involved too, because Wells Fargo, Lehman Brothers, and all these other places was also throwing money behind these places like Countrywide, behind like Quicken Loans and shit. They was shoveling loans to people out the door. And Barack knew this. But remember, he told you to your fucking face that he was not going to be the president of Black America. He was going to be the president of America. Fam, I don't think we understood at the time, as a collective. Some of you got it. But as a collective, I don't think we understood at the time what that truly meant. Let's break it down. In America, there is two Americas. There is white America with its satellites, right? Which is immigrants, other people that come here, and so on and so forth. And then there's us, ADOS America, the descendants of the enslaved America, right? There's two fucking Americas. In one America, opportunities abound, and the more crooked you are, the more opportunities are presented to you. In the other America, you make one mistake and you may as well be dead, because the rest of your life you are among the living dead. You get no aid, no assistance, no second chances, no do-overs, no mulligans. You sign one piece of paper wrong. You fail to read one piece of fine print, and you lose everything. In one America, you get opportunities to the extent that you're willing to deny those opportunities to the other America. Everybody knows this. Immigrants will tell you in a minute, they don't come here to fight for social justice. If they wanted to do that, they would stay in their own fucking countries. Look at what's happening over in Nigeria right now. Earlier this summer, when George got killed, when Breonna got killed back in February and shit, and we were sitting out here protesting and pissed off, they was telling us they ain't killing us fast enough. They made it seem like that their sacred homeland didn't even have problems like police brutality and shit like that. But now the truth come out that their bullshit ass cops is just as corrupt as the ones we got here. Matter of fact, it's worse, because the motherfuckers look just like them. And they mad because we ain't got nothing to say. Well, why would I have anything to say. First of all, what could any black American say that would make any fucking sense? We all know that over in Africa, them bastards thrive off this whole tribal shit. You got at least 3 major ethnic groups that make up Nigeria. You got Igbo, you got Fulani, and you got Hausa people. And then you got different tribal subsects and clans. You got Osu and Ohu and Diallo and this, that, and the third. Who the fuck am I supposed to comment on behalf of? Right? Like, who's in the right and who's in the wrong? It's not like I could trust any information really coming out of there, because the government gonna say one thing and the people gonna say something else. And some of the people will call a legitimate arrest by an officer a grievance because that officer that arrested one of those people over there was a member of one tribe, and the person that got arrested was a member of another one. Who the fuck am I supposed to believe? And second of all, you got Nigerians that live here in the West that ain't saying shit about what's going on over in Nigeria. Where the fuck is that bitch Lovey at? Where's Issa Rae and them at? Where's what's his name? Emmanuel Ochu or whatever the fuck his name is. Where these bastards at? These privileged ass Nigerians that came over here and made it big. They ain't saying shit about what's happening on the streets over there in Nigeria. But my black ass, who is just trying to make it from day to day, who got my own issues, my own beasts to fight here that you will never back me up on fighting, is supposed to have something to say about what the fuck is happening with SARS and the Nigerian people. I don't have time for it. Today on Twitter, I watched a sister cry like a newborn fucking baby because her mother died 2:30 this morning. She was doing well, but she was in rehab. And they transferred her to another rehab place. She had a tracheotomy tube in her throat. And it's likely that these people just brought this woman into this new place and nobody checked on her and she fucked around and died. They saw their mama alive, talking, healthy, happy yesterday. And now they mourning her today. And I'm supposed to have tears for what the fuck is happening over in Nigeria? I got medical apartheid happening here. I got my people suffering in great numbers from the corona here with a government that act like it don't even give a fuck. And many of my people who haven't got no aid, no assistance since some of us got a check, hopefully back when they first issued them, but some of them waited on that check all the way up to this month. And you want me to be talking about what the fuck is going on in Nigeria? Man, fuck y'all. Go hit up Issa and them. Go hit up Emmanuel Acho and all the rest of them. Go hit up Daniel Kalu or whoever all the rest of these motherfucking Africans is. That's not my problem. You had 2 or 3, maybe 4 Africans standing over there holding up Black Lives Matter signs. Shout out to them. I appreciate the support from the continent, from the motherland. I appreciate those 4, those little few. All the rest of them Africans was just trying to get by, do their day-to-day shit. And we wasn't bitching that Africa as a continent wasn't saying anything about what was happening over here. Fam, you want to hear something really fucking crazy, Macon? Check this out. I mentioned to you that there's at least 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria. That's not counting all the tribal cliques and all this other bullshit, okay? When things is going good and you approach a Nigerian and you ask them who they are, you feel me? Right? Follow me. Follow me with the logic here. When the getting is good, when everything is straight, and you hit up a Nigerian and you say, "Hey, fam, who you be? They tell you, Yoruba, Igbo. I'm Niger, fam. You know, they might represent Nigeria. If they got a little national love, they might represent Nigeria as a whole. But they're going to give you their tribal identification, their tribal affiliation. By the way, shout out to Kenneth White is in the house. Easy be easy. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Carmen is in the house. Good evening, sister. Happy Hump Day to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Oh, and Chris V. Peace, fam. They'll give you their tribal identification. But now, who is it that they identify as when shit slides into fuckery? So when they get in the bag, when everything's cool, when there's no major upheavals happening, you say, hey, you're not from America. Who you with? You know, who's your peoples? They'll give you your tribal affiliation. Shit goes sideways. Slides into fuckery. Who they identify as then? Tell me in the chat your guesses. What do they call themselves then? When they jump, when shit goes sideways, when everything goes pear-shaped, when they experience in the fuckery, who is it that they identify as? Because I know the answer, fam. I want to see if you know. Thank you. Black Magic got it in one. Now we all black. When they want us to speak out on the fuckery that's happening to them in their country, now we're all black. When the getting's good, when everything's straight, we a Kata. Or they call us a Bruni. Or whatever the fuck. But when shit go pear-shaped, when it goes sideways, when they want us to mule for their ass, when they want us to throw bodies and money and ass on the line to help them, now we all black. But isn't it funny though, fam? It's the same bullshit that they pull to get over here, to get a chance to get the bag. This is the same bullshit they pull when they go ahead and jump for a slot at Harvard or Yale. They tell them they black. You damn right, cool Unc. By the way, Black Leo, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Producer, what's good, fam? Yeah, cool Unc. They've been on that shit forever. They've been on that shit forever. When everything is going motherfucking great, you can't get these motherfuckers to be black if you were paying them checks to say they was black. When it's going after the benefits, the bag, the job, the contract, these motherfuckers will cuss you out and punch you in your face for calling them black. But when shit go left, when it goes sideways, now we all black. I beg to differ. When I say black, I only mean one motherfucking people. Just one. That's the descendants of the enslaved in the United States. All these other motherfuckers are identified either where they come from or by their tribal name. That's the shit you told me you was. Stand on that. And just like you don't have a right to speak on black issues, I don't have a right to speak on no Nigerian issues, or no Igbo issues, or no Hausa or Fulani issues, or no Yoruba issues. It's not my problem. I'll give up tribalism when you motherfuckers do. See, fam, politically, economically, and all of it, We the only ones that haven't really been playing the tribal game. When you got a good job and you a white dude, you try to put your family on. It's called nepotism, and everybody does it. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. You try to get your people put on. Not black people. No, we try to get the best employee. Look, if I got a job, I don't give a fuck if my cousin ain't worked a goddamn day in his life. I'm giving my nigga a job. Why? Because he's my nigga. What other motherfucking reason do I need? Why? Because I investigated his resume and I decided that he was the best employee. Bullshit. We the only motherfuckers in this country, the only people on the planet who refuse to be tribal, who refuse to be self-interested, as the bestie said. Nah, we got our own people jumping through fucking hoops. Nobody else does this. Joe Bob working on a construction site. His drunkard ass, wife beating, cat kicking, cousin fucking brother wants a job. Guess what? He's getting a job. Why? It sure in the fuck ain't because he's the most qualified. It ain't because he's the best damn employee. It's because they family, because they peoples. That's the only reason, and that's the only reason that matters. Look at the hospitals here in the United States now. Various African tribal groups and Filipinos are basically taking over healthcare. Up here in the Pacific Northwest where I live at, you can't go to a hospital and not run into a Filipino nurse. The motherfuckers is like, they're like targets, and you can throw a rock and hit one. And trust me, I can tell you, not all of the motherfuckers is qualified. But does that matter? No, because when you finally been able to position the head nurse in the department as a Filipina, you don't have to worry about going in there and being the most qualified. You can sit across the table and instead of interviews, you could trade pancette recipes for 45 minutes and then have her say, well, call me Monday and we'll see if we can get you started next week. We the only people in this country that don't fucking do that. You want to keep your brother jumping through fucking hoops for a job. You get a little piece of, you get a little position, a little piece of something. You the supervisor. And they say, okay, you can call the shots. We expect you to hire 5 new people in the next week. Niggas is the only ones that'll hire 2 white people, 2 Asian people, and a Mexican. 5 jobs open, and a nigga ain't got one of them. It's a new day, fam. It's a new day, fam. If I got access to anything, my people are getting it first. Why? Because they my people. I don't give a fuck about your resume. I don't care about your past. I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own motherfucking home. I don't care what God you worship. I don't give a fuck about nothing. You and me, we tribe. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. There ain't shit. We can sit in here. Okay, fam. So the interview is supposed to be 45 minutes, and you know I got to make it look right for them bucker out there, man. So we just going to sit in here and chop it up. Who did you have, man? The Cavs or... You know what I'm saying? Shit, sis, man. That shit, last episode of motherfucking Power was some bullshit, wasn't it? We're going to talk shit for 45 minutes. Then I'll be like, call me back on Monday. I'll make sure you got the job. I'm not bullshitting, fam. Everybody else in this motherfucker is self-interested. They are tribal. And they make no fucking excuses about it. You know why they don't make excuses about it, fam? I'm here to tell you a sad, sad truth. Wolves have packs. right? Wolves are in packs. Crows have murders. Strange name for a flock of crows, right? But you got a flock of geese. You got a pod of dolphins. Humans' natural groupings, fam, is tribal. Has been since the first humans, will be to the last. Now, this don't mean that you gotta abuse people or misuse people. No. But membership has its fucking privileges. If you and me, we tribe, we family. Fuck I look like giving anybody anything over you. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Thank you, CKD. That's why they come here and laugh at us. Because we like, oh, yeah, he fam. Talking about the white dude that live in the suburbs that come over in the hood and kick it with us on the weekend. How the fuck is he fam? Everybody look at us like we crazy. We got the door wide open. Matter of fact, we sitting out here with motherfucking cookout tickets. Handing them shits out for anything that look remotely entertaining and or black. Ooh, he gave that bitch that work. Here, he's invited to the barbecue. Why? I come to a barbecue. I don't want to see a whole bunch of other motherfuckers. I go to barbecues to kick it with my peoples. We need to, fam, you can't sit here and tell the whole nation that your life matters when you don't prefer your own life. This is not to blame you or to shame you. I'm not victim blaming. I need you to understand the deeper level of what I'm saying, right? If you don't prefer you, right? If you don't uplift you, if you don't see Sister Kanuri and be like, ooh, sis, I'm glad I saw you. Girl, let me tell you about this motherfucking opportunity that I got. And you trying to bring her ass in, like you dragging Kanuri, kicking and screaming. If you don't see CKD, be like, fam, I just got the hook up on this shit. Nigga, let's talk. If you not seeing, you know what I'm saying, Sister Monty, if you not seeing Sister, Sister Alma and like, sis, fam, I've been waiting for you. Get over here. We about to get this come up. We about to get this come up. We are about to get this come up. If you're not doing that, then why the fuck you expect anybody else to do that for you? This should be basic tribal shit. But because we haven't been tribal, we don't know how to be tribal. And the few of us that have finally stumbled upon the secret, thanks to people like Yvette and Antonio, right, who told us about lineage and heritage, right? About how lineage matters. About regardless of whether we came from this tribe or that tribe or this tribe or that tribe, when we came here and were forged in the motherfucking crucible of slavery, we became one motherfucking people. We became an American tribe. We are not a lost folk. We have a homeland. It's called the United States of America. We are a people. We call black people. We have a language. It's called African American Vernacular English. We have culture. We have arts. We have music. We've got food. We got everything everybody else got. Except everybody else operates as a tribe. If every opportunity I come across, I'm not looking to put you on with me, then I got no right to expect anybody else to do right by me, because you are a reflection of me. I've said this before, fam. We call each other family, and we call each other family in jest. But truth be told, fam, how do you think you go from around 800,000 slaves at the end of the 1700s when they started to ban the transatlantic slave trade? So by 1807, there were no new slaves being imported into the United States, to almost 5 million slaves enslaved peoples at the end of the Civil War and emancipation. How do you go from that number to that number if we ain't fucking family? How? Make the shit make sense. We're not bringing in new people. So how the fuck do you get from around 800,000 to almost 5 million in just 50, 60 years if we ain't family? We got more right to be tribal than anybody else because we about the only motherfucking group in this country that could legitimately have a claim to actually be related to each other. You are, in a real fucking sense, my family. We gotta stop calling each other that in just as a pet name. That shit is an actual, literal, factual descriptor of our relationship. We are tribe and we are family. There should be nothing that I look to do for you that you don't look to do for me. Why? Because you're family. That's all the fuck I need to know. I don't need your resume. I don't need to know everything about where you come from. I mean, I like to know where your peoples is, you know, because you know how black people is. We show up, oh, where you from, fam? KC? Oh, for real, man, I got peoples in KC. You know, Blase, Skippy, and so. Yeah, for sure. Man, them niggas, right? That's your entree. So you got to have your lineage on deck. When people ask who you got to be able to lay it out. But once you've done that, you got the keys to the motherfucking kingdom. My house is your house. Nigga, you get the best seat at the table. You get the most comfortable seat in the whip. Why? Because you family. Fam, this election season, these motherfuckers is playing games. And they're telling us that we the only people in this country that's supposed to just not give a fuck about what can be done politically. And just supposed to vote anyway. Nah. And since we family, I would be going out like a buster if I wasn't trying to tell my people. You know what I'm saying? Nah, fam, this ain't it. We have the right to demand from these motherfuckers something. And if they're not trying to give us something, family, then we shouldn't be fucking with them like that. You got fam down on 10th and Paseo? Shit, my mom's used to stay off of 27th and Paseo. See? Producer Hack laying out the resume. Like, you see what I'm saying? I already know, we peoples. That nigga welcome in my house. He gonna eat good. Right? That's all I need to know. Where you peoples from? Where you at? Who you? Another question Yvette and Tone taught us to ask. Who you? Motherfuckers running off at they dick suckers, all these people, you know, wearing our skin, but ain't a part of our lineage. Who the fuck are you? Your name, Kofi, you know, Ogabalu. Fuck, I care what you talking about. Unless that was just some, you know, name you adopted back in your Pan-African days or some shit. Nigga, you better come correct. When you come up on the yard, you gotta present your paperwork. We got every right at this motherfucking point to ask these goddamn, these doppelgangers with black skin who don't share our lineage. We got every right to ask these motherfuckers who they are. Because they've been riding a little too long with these free nigga passes. I'm sorry, but I'm not in the business of handing out tribal membership. Why? Because membership has its fucking privileges. When you with me, you don't have to fear shit. But that's only if you're a member of my tribe. That's only if you're a member of my family. That's only if you came from the motherfucking crucible, the killing fields of slavery. If you come from that group, you got nothing to worry about with your man. If I got, you got. If there's food enough for me, there's food enough for us. If there's shelter enough for me, there's shelter enough for us. If you with me, you straight. But if you ain't with me, fuck you. Because that's how the rest of everybody else operate. I'll give up tribalism when y'all do. all these African motherfuckers and other people from the diaspora and this, that, and the third. I don't hate them. I don't have no hate towards nobody. You got to understand me when I say this. I don't hate these people. I don't fear them. I'm not xenophobic. I am not bigoted. I don't hate them. What I am is a man who is about the needs, issues, situations as regards his family, his tribe. I'm a single issue motherfucker. Does it benefit or help my people, my tribe? Yes, then I'm with it. If it don't, then I don't give a fuck. Because everybody else operates that same way when it comes to me and my tribe. There's two Americas. There's America and then there's Black America. And so when Barack Obama told us that he wasn't going to be the president of Black America, but the president of America, he was telling you that he was upholding whatever America upholds. Because if you're not the president of Black America, that automatically means you're antithetical to our interests. He made it clear from Jump Street, fam, that he was antithetical to our interests. That no matter what we said, no matter what we did, no matter what we stood on, he was going to be diametrically opposed. And we saw it all throughout his administration. When John Crawford was murdered, when Tamir was killed, when Trayvon was killed, when Sandra Bland was killed, when Mike Brown was killed, when Alton Sterling, when all these people were killed by the motherfucking cops, and we finally just said, you know what, we about to tear this motherfucker up. We tired of losing our family to the hands of these goddamn pigs. Barack Obama called us thugs and told us to stand down and shut the fuck up. We told Barack Obama we need protection from the law enforcement apparatus in this country. So he signs Blue Lives Matter legislation protecting the motherfucking cops. Fam, I saw a tweet where somebody was asking President Barack Obama to comment on the situation in Nigeria, that he was the president of the black world, and that his voice would help. Fam, I couldn't do shit but laugh. What's up, Emmanuel, by the way? I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. I had to reply to this fool. I did. I said, you know what? I said, if Barack Obama is your only hope for change in Nigeria, you're fucked. I had to be honest with him. I explained the history that Black Americans have with Barack Obama. And I said, so if Barack Obama is your final opportunity for hope and change in Nigeria, you're fucked. Emmanuel brought up a good point. I used to live very close to an Italian neighborhood, and it was split up between Neapolitans, people from the mainland, and Sicilians. And Sicilians will tell you in a minute, they Sicilian. They might speak Italian or a dialect of Italian, but they Sicilian. They their own peoples. Everybody, fam, can operate as a tribe. So why don't we? Why don't we? Donald Trump wilding the fuck out, and we supposed to be upset about that like we ain't dealt with 44 Donald Trumps before him. The Democrats are stuck on this orange man bad shit, and black people are upset. Fam, haven't you noticed in your interactions with your brothers and sisters who are firmly and fully on the Biden-Harris train, that when you ask them to explain why you should vote for Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, that they can never bring up a reason that does not involve Donald Trump? Pop a one in the chat if you've noticed in your interactions. By the way, welcome Poro to the broadcast. I see you. Ted, I see you, fam. Tab Liquor, what's good, fam? Welcome to the broadcast. Haven't y'all noticed that? That when you say, okay, I'm going to keep an open mind. Tell me why I should vote for Joe Biden. But you can't mention Trump one time. Haven't you noticed they ain't got no motherfucking answers for you? They ain't got a single answer. Because everything they bring to you other than Trump is easily refuted. And believe it or not, fam, it's refuted in the easiest way possible. You can say what you like about the Orange Man, Imperator Trump, first of his name, or the Tangerine King. You can say whatever the fuck you want about the man, because I have no love for the son of a bitch, all right? But Donald Trump actually gave us all the key to address this bullshit from the Democrats. Because he reminded us during his last debate with Jim Crow Joe one very important fact. One fact that everybody on the Democratic side of the House would like for you to ignore. Just one fact. Joe Biden has been in government for 47 motherfucking years. Donald Trump has been in government for barely 4. So if all of these ideas, all of these things, these good things that they're claiming that Biden and Harris is going to do for America, if there were all these great motherfucking things that's a part of his platform, then why in 47 years he ain't done nothing toward them? Because everything that Joe Biden set his mind to do, he accomplished. Jim Crow Joe Biden said that he was going to be the toughest Democrat on crime that America had ever fucking seen. And he did that shit. Oh, he did that shit in spades. And if you don't believe me, ask your family members who did football numbers over humbug charges. Oh yeah, when he set out to show to own the Republicans, to show them that he was not going to be soft on crime, that he was going to do everything but hang jaywalkers, he accomplished that shit. But I'm supposed to be hyped up and concerned about the fact that he put out some 20-page drivel where he said black people maybe 8 times throughout all 21 pages, when he had 47 years to do that shit and didn't do nothing. Quentin, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Yeah, I know, Quentin. People voting off of their emotion. And that's where the Democrats like us. They like us fearful. They like us broken. They like us scared. That's why they still use demeaning ass language to descendants of slaves like, if the Republicans get back in office, they're going to put you all back in chains. Any white Democrat, I swear to you, on my baby's eyes, on everything I hold holy, look into my eyes, because I'm telling you, fam, any white motherfucking Democrat that walks up to me and ever fucking says anything like that to my face, I'm going to jail. I am going to jail. I am going to put hands and or bullets onto that motherfucker. That is the most demeaning, horrible bullshit you could ever say to a person of my lineage. You might as well just come out and call me a nigga. Because you're going to get the same fucking response for telling me that some political opponent of yours wants to put my people back in chains. Any Republican that comes up to you and says bullshit like, you need to get off the Democratic plantation, you need to be making them motherfuckers need dental work. That shit is disrespectful as fuck. Sister Jones in the house. Welcome, sister. I see you. Brother Charles is in the house. Welcome, fam. Sister Strongflower, I'm sorry I didn't greet you. Welcome to the broadcast. A happy hump day to you. Fam, we, the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States, ADOS, FBA, whatever your little chosen acronym is, you know who I'm fucking talking about? Us, the tribe. We need to be anybody killers. Everybody can get this motherfucking smoke. Oh no, Ken, I'm telling you, fam, they catching a fade fucking with your man. I'm not, see, because I have this issue since my embracing of my heritage and my lineage. I have an issue with the disrespect of my ancestors. I lived most of my life like most black people do in this country. When we hear about slavery before lineage mattered, a lot of us were kind of ashamed. And so we would tell ourselves stories about, oh no, my ancestors were runaways. It's not likely your ancestor was. That's no shame on your ancestor, fam. Slavery was a system. It was fucked up, right? But let's keep it a buck. That's why we was able to buy those bullshit ass stories sold by Pan-Africans talking about we was kings and shit. No, we wasn't. Even if you assume that everybody from Africa came over here and was royalty, the moment your ass got in chains on those boats, you wasn't shit but property. The fact that you might have came from African royalty, whatever the fuck that means, don't mean shit here in the shores of America. Plus, we all know everybody over in Africa ain't royalty. Somebody has to tend cattle and harvest grain and make pots. Fuck out of here. Easy be easy's right. They would never tell Jews, right? Nobody would ever come to the Jews, the so-called Jews. Probably gonna get demonetized for saying that, but fuck them, I don't care, right? Nobody would ever come to the so-called Jews and suggest in any way that a political opponent is going to put Jewish people into ovens. By the way, YouTube, you review this video, I'm not saying I want to put Jewish people in the ovens, you dumbasses. But nobody would ever come to Jewish folk and say some shit like that. That person's career would be over immediately. Would nobody still be months later talking about, yeah, he's still a viable candidate after saying some shit like that? And yet, Jim Crow Joe Biden is still viable after telling us that they're going to put us back in chains? That a bitch? Brother Rob, I see you, fam. Welcome. Unapologetically Black is in the house. Since I'm here, is in the house. Peace, fam. Key Boot X, I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Beloved Sister Taj, mwah, mwah, welcome. Pat Roberts said, we are still property, killed with impunity. Property can't make a claim. We ain't still property. Fuck you on. No disrespect, but we ain't still property. Don't come at me with no crazy shit like that. I ain't owned by nobody except my people, my tribe. They got a little claim on me. The rest of these motherfuckers can kiss my natural black ass. They got bullets, I got bullets. They bleed, I bleed. They vote, I know how to vote too. They read, I know how to read. I'm not owned by nobody. None of us are. We need to stop with that crazy shit. Now, to keep it a buck, I can't do nothing about the fact if you sell your own ass. Because let's keep it real. Like Ted said, some of us act like they are. Some of us are. But they sold their motherfucking self. Motherfuckers like April Ryan. Motherfuckers like Jamil Hill. And this, that, and the third. They sold their self to white America. Selling us out. Motherfuckers like Teray. Fuck they law. That's why I said, Pat, I'm not the cat to come to with that bullshit. White folks don't give a fuck about the law. They buffalo niggas like you with the law. Not me. I already know. I'm already clear on the fact that the law means whatever the fuck they can enforce. I'm not going back in chains. And I'm not letting them take my people back in chains. So we can have a dance. We can do whatever. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the corporate state. They can say whatever the fuck they like. We don't need our own law. We need to start ignoring the fucking law. Shit, you got all these black people that are supposed to be Christians, right? Paul said that Christians are free from the law. And we the most law-abiding ass motherfuckers on the planet Earth. He said the only standard to be concerned about is to understand that while everything is permitted, not everything edifies. Meaning that you as a Christian have complete liberty of action except if it causes your brother to stumble. So don't be out here doing dumb shit. But you don't owe nobody no motherfucking allegiance. You don't owe them any concern or care over their law. For what? Fuck I look like? We play law games for now because those are the games they play. My beloved sister, Miss Kawami, is in the house. Welcome, sis. Happy hump day to you. We play politics because that's the game that we play for now. One day, our people going to get tired of waiting on politics. We're going to get tired of waiting on the law and the judiciary. We're going to get tired. We're going to get tired of being told, wait. Martin Luther King said, wait rings in the ears of every Negro with a piercing familiarity because the word wait has almost always meant never. We ain't going to keep hearing wait. Pretty soon we're going to get what we're here to get. Or they're going to have to make us not get it. They're going to have to do something to us to make sure we don't get it. Fam, this shit with Ice Cube has been crazed. Shout out to Ice Cube, by the way. And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan. I actually am a fan of Ice Cube, but I'm not saying shout out to Ice Cube because I'm a fan of his, right? I'm listening to Ice Cube. Like, I grew up with the nigga, basically. Ice Cube is my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to Death Certificate, America's Most Wanted, all that shit, right? But shout out to Ice Cube for finally having the guts to do something that Negroes should have been doing from word say go. Put together our own shit and let them come to us about it. Cube put together his contract with Black America. No matter what you think about it. I know some of my ADOS fam say ADOS101.com. I still represent that. I still uphold that. I'm definitely down with that, right? So I'm not saying his plan better, we should go with his, or we shouldn't go with ADOS 101. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying he came up with a contract for Black America. The man was interested in his people. Okay? So after coming up with the contract, he put it out there and was contacted by both the Democrats and the Republicans. Engaging Black, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Appreciate you. So the Democrats did their usual and say, yeah, that, Cube, that sounds good, man. And we agree with like 85% of your plan. So I tell you what, why don't we have a sit down and talk about it after the election? After we don't need you niggas no more. Okay? The Republicans said, wait, shit, contract with Black America? Let us check it out. parse through it, it's like, shit, some of these ideas, we can kind of fuck with. I mean, there's some of this shit we can't really, but there's some of this, even we Republicans can, we can talk about it. Like, we can actually, have a conversation and put this as a part of some sort of platform somewhere, right? So, I mean, it's not like the Republicans did a whole lot with Cube's contract with Black America, right? They saw some of it and was like, we might be able to talk about like getting around to doing some of this shit. And so Trump came up with this platinum plan, which, by the way, I can't fuck with Trump. Y'all know that, but you gotta admit, platinum plan, right? Like, somebody was on some real nigga shit when they came up with the name for that plan. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I fucks with it, but I'm saying, right? You feel me? Platinum plan, nigga, not the silver plan, right? Not the gold plan. The motherfucking platinum plan, my nigga. You feel me? Like, I'm serious, there was at least one real nigga in on the naming of that shit. I'm just saying. Cause when you walk up to a nigga and be like, man, I'm about to hit you niggas with the platinum card. Bye! Niggas already know what it is. You holding. Right? You can call it. We need a little humor here. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. How many of you niggas, when you saw platinum plan, even though you didn't really say nothing to nobody, in the back of your head, you had a little bit of a smile. You was like, damn, that's a dope ass name for a plan. I'm just keeping it a buck, fam. Hey, this is Mark Black. You already know what you get when you fuck with me. Nigga, I had a smile on my face. I hadn't even read the plan yet, fam. Cause I read it. You should too. But I gotta admit, they kind of had me at platinum plan. That don't sound like no punk ass plan. Even if it is a punk ass plan, it don't sound like it's a punk ass plan. Trump didn't roll out the gold carpet. You know what I'm saying? Trump came with the motherfucking platinum plan. But fam, I digress. I'm sorry. I just wanted to inject a little humor because I know I wasn't the only one. I'm telling you, I'm just an average, regular, everyday nigga, man. I'm studious, but I'm no academic. I'm just peoples. And when I see some shit like platinum plan, this shit put a smile on my face. I'm like, oh, he ain't bullshitting. He came with the platinum plan. Till I read that motherfucker. But anyway. Right? Hermes. Fam. You know what I'm saying? The monocle and all. Platinum plan, you say. Right? It's since I'm here, it's like 2.5 paragraphs, right? It ain't really no plan at all, but that name though is fucking them. That name is fucking them. Sorry, hey Tanya, I got a foul mouth. I fully admit it. Right? I know that's not for everybody, so I appreciate your comment and I just appreciate the love, right? But yes, no jokes aside, right? All jokes aside, I should say. Yeah, just me. And look, I'm cracking jokes here, fam. I'm not saying that I was like, oh, he said platinum. Oh, you know it's gonna be lit. No, none of that, right? You feel me? I'm just saying it was humorous. It was humorous to me. But at any rate, I'm off that shit. So Cube got some airtime from Team Trump. And they allegedly borrowed some parts of his contract with Black America. Now, we all know that whether you Democrat or Republican, nobody's above name dropping, right? You don't talk to somebody like Ice Cube or any other celebrity and that don't get out. Like, seriously, fam, it's not as if, Like, Biden ain't gonna be able to have a quiet sit down with no motherfucker like Cardi B. Just keep it in a buck. She's a star for whatever reason, right? And so, if he has a sit down with her, that shit's gonna be news. Especially if his campaign name drop her. If they say, yeah, Biden's gonna be talking to Cardi B, right? Come on, fam. We know how this game go. So Team Trump. I haven't watched TYT seriously in years, fam. I don't waste my time with Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. They jokes. I just don't fuck around. So no, I didn't see them. But on the strength that you asked, I will go watch it today, right? But so Trump's campaign name dropped Q, and all of a sudden, fam, like a butter biscuit tsunami, all these black gatekeepers out of nowhere just think pieces and maligning the man's character, and they called Cube this last week or so everything but a child of God. Now, to his credit, Ice Cube did what I thought would be the most wise and dignified thing possible, and the most stupid. So it was a wise and stupid thing. It was wise in the sense that if you were dealing with real adult people who are about logic and reason, what he did next would make perfect sense. But it was stupid because you're not dealing with logical people with sense and reason. These are fucking bootlick, butter biscuit chasing, resume touting, position seeking, people looking for access to the most comfortable spot they can get under white supremacy, right? So Cube did the right thing, but he made a bad assumption that he was dealing with actual reasonable folk. Cube came out and explained himself. He said, no. I know what the Trump people said, but that's not what happened. And he laid it out. He said, I put it out there. Biden's people contacted me. Trump's people contacted me. Biden's people said, we'll talk about it after the election. Trump's people said, let's have a sit down now. Borrowed a few ideas, I thought they borrowed a few ideas and they ran with it. He said, but neither one of them did anything on my contract. And that's all right. I wanted to talk to whoever I could get a chance to talk to that could make some decisions that could benefit my people. A very reasonable, and in the absence of any other evidence, an acceptable response. The thing I won't understand about any of this is, where was all of the smoke for the fact that Biden's group, right, Biden's people refused to have even any conversation with Ice Cube until after the election? Where was the smoke that was directed at the Democrats and Joe Biden? Because he said, yeah, that's interesting, Cube. Tell you what, why don't you have your people contact my people after the election? We'll do lunch. Where was the smoke about that? Because, see, they're quick to tell us that we can't trust Trump. And they're right. Trump is as fickle as the wind. This is clear, okay? But we didn't even get a chance to get anything out of Joe Biden. You can't trust shit he don't say. We didn't even get a sit down. We didn't even get an opportunity to have a damn discussion to hear some lies from Joe Biden. They told us we can't trust Donald Trump. And it's true. But does that automatically mean we can trust Joe Biden? I don't think so. So where is the fire, shade, and smoke with Biden's people for not meeting with Ice Cube? Why does Ice Cube have to be a patriarchal, demagogue who's riding on Trump's nuts because he likes bling bling and Trump's misogyny? Like, why couldn't it be that Cube is just self-interested in whoever is going to be at the levers of power, or who currently holds the levers of power is the people he want to get in front of? Why couldn't it just be that? I'll tell you why, fam, in my humble opinion. Because when justice is finally done for the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States, thank you, Brother Hermias. I see you, fam. I appreciate you as well. When justice is finally done for us here, there's going to be a lot of black people that are going to be out of a job. There's a lot of black folk that's going to be seeking opportunities elsewhere. Right? When we finally get our due, when we get reparations and a black agenda, when America finally cracks wise, because it will, I have no doubt that we will get reparations. No doubt whatsoever. I have no doubt that we will finally have a black agenda in place that finally empowers us as the most of American of Americans. No doubt at all. Zero whatsoever. When that finally happens, though, there's a lot of black folk who are going to be finding themselves looking for other opportunities elsewhere. There's a lot of Negroes who have built their entire career off of highlighting the fact that we're dying, that we're struggling, that we're suffering, without having to do the struggling, the dying, and the suffering. Let me say that again to you, for those brothers and sisters out there who are in the cheap seats. There are a lot of black folk out here of our tribe, of our lineage, who speak on a constant basis about the struggles, the deaths, the trials that we face as a people.
Gotta go. Appreciate you, big bro. B1.
B1 to you too, producer, man. Fam, I appreciate you. There's a lot of black folk out here who will speak on these things without having to face any of these things. They have an orbit that takes them into the protective magnetic field of whiteness, right? You know who these people are. Alicia Garza's one. D. Ray McKesson's one. Right? Jamel Hill is one. April Ryan is one. Yamiche Alcindor is one. You know, all these people that have access. It's easy for these motherfuckers to sit out here and highlight all the problems we face when they ain't problems they have to face. It's easy for Donna Lamone to come up into our neighborhood and put mics up in people's faces because he's going to go back to White DeVille and eat good. The cops going to recognize that it's Don Lemon and they're not going to do shit to him. There's a lot of motherfuckers that's making buku, big bread off our suffering. A lot. And so when justice is approaching us, when justice is on the verge of being given birth to in America, these people are trying to abort justice in the womb. Because they have a vested interest in the status quo. Thank you. Jonathan Capehart's another one. Like I said, we know the names, fam. We know who these people are. If we got justice tomorrow, a lot of these motherfuckers would be crying. Not tears of joy like we would be. Right? Not tears of relief where our people could finally do this. they'd be crying tears because the motherfucking gravy train would be shut down. It'd be hoisted up off the tracks. They'd have to go out and get a fucking real job. A lot of these academics out here blaming black men for this and black men for that. Fam, yesterday on Twitter, blame black men, hashtag blame black men was some of the funniest shit I ever saw in my life. Cause you know black folk, fam, I love us to death. You call us niggas, we figure out a way to make it a term of endearment, right? You mistreat us, we figure out a way to make lemons. Well, when you take black men and you make them to blame for everything from the black hole in the center of the galaxy to Donald Trump's election, finally at some point, black men are just gonna be like, you know what? That ain't all we responsible for. We're responsible for JFK getting killed. We're responsible for motherfucking World Wars I and II. Niggas is responsible for global warming and climate change. Right? This shit was hilarious, fam. A lot of good history shit I learned yesterday too under that hashtag. You know, you continue to blame a people long enough, them people finally gonna see through the fact that you're full of shit. And I'm not talking about just black men at this point. I'm talking about us as a tribe. You blame us for our problems, right? You blame us all the time for every little thing that happens to us. Eventually, our people are gonna wake up and say, no, wait a minute, goddammit. I know we do X, Y, and Z, or we got this and that and the third problem, but man, we can't be responsible for all this shit. I read a sister's tweet yesterday. She said, it's all right to hold black people accountable and still understand that this government de jure and de facto fucked us over. These two things can be true at the same time. Let me do that, fam. I will. But these two things can be true at the same time. That's right, black people, fam. Because I'm tired of the motherfucking gender war bullshit. Black women are not my enemies. Truth be told, they have never been our enemies. Sure, do we do fucked up shit to each other? You goddamn right we do. We got some broken, pathological, sick motherfuckers, and we all need lineage therapy. I'm thinking all of us is pretty much fucked up and got PTSD of some sort. If you wake up black in America and you ain't mad on the daily, something's fucking wrong with you. Don't take my word for it. James Baldwin said that. He said to be black in America and to be even remotely conscious is to exist in a constant state of rage. You can't expect the best of humanity out of a people that are going through that. That's real talk. We all going through the crucible, but you expect us to provide you with our best. Sometimes we can't fucking call it. Is that an excuse? No. Does that justify some of our behavior to each other? No. But does it mean that we're fucking enemies? How can we be enemies when we're going through the same shit? Because, brother man, I know that it's fucked up when black women seem to get a come up off the fact that we get killed by the cops. But you know what's fucked up? is that we as black men don't have to understand what it's like to go in there to try to give birth to the next generation, and 3 times as many of our babies is dying as everybody else. We don't understand what it's like to be that mama holding her stillborn ass baby because she couldn't get the fucking health care that she needed all throughout the 9 months of carrying your seed. And now she got a dead baby wrapped in her arms and she got tears running down her face. We can't understand that. So try a little grace if maybe she get mad and say some stupid shit about us getting killed by the cops. Because maybe I can't understand what it's like to give birth to a stillborn black baby. Or to have to try to decide whether or not to have another one, knowing we can't even pay for the one we got. We both have our fucked up things that we face as a part of this crucible. This whole gender war bullshit is just that. It is bullshit. Black woman ain't never been my enemy. Have we always got along? No. I'm sure I've pissed my sisters off, and I'm sure as fuck they've pissed me off. But she ain't my enemy. You can't blame black men for every motherfucking thing. Because at some point, black men are going to wake up and say, wait a minute, goddammit. Now, I know what I'm capable of. I know what fuckery I've pulled. I know what bad ideas exist within the melon. But I can't be responsible for all this bullshit. And then you lose. Because once black men say, you know what, fuck that. I ain't taking blame for a goddamn thing. How the hell are you going to communicate with us then? Sisters, I'm asking y'all this, legit, right? If the black man is to blame for all this shit, and we finally get pushed to a point where we just say, you know what, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm not accepting no responsibility or blame for none of this shit. Even though some of it, we got some shit that we need to fix, right? So how do you communicate then? You gonna let these people gender war us to a point where you can't even then communicate with your brother? That's right, Sister Strong Flower. We rise, we fall, we do it together. I got one enemy in this country, and that's white supremacy. One. That's it. White capital and white supremacy. I'm coming after their capital so I can end their motherfucking supremacy. All the rest of this shit, we can work it out. We can figure it out. I'm coming after white capital to make it black capital so that we can finally invest in us so we can end white supremacy. That's it. And that's all. Black woman, you are not my enemy, sister. I don't understand some of the shit you be on, but you don't understand some of the shit I be on either. What we need is more communication. We need a stronger willingness to come together, not less willingness to come together. We need to have real conversations out of love with each other. Shit, we family. I should be able to talk to you if I can't talk to nobody else. And vice versa. This gender war shit is a joke. And I'm not going for it no more. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to look at black women as my enemies. And I'm not going to extrapolate the actions of one black woman or 2 black women or 5 black women to be the actions of all black women. Because that's how white supremacy do us as Negroes. A black man beat a white man up in a store. So now all niggas is criminals. How are we any different if that's how we doing each other based off of gender? One black man was a dog. He was traumatized, didn't know how to treat you well, and treated you like shit. So now all niggas ain't shit. What? That's exactly how the white supremacists do us. Fuck I look like. One sister kicked me when I was down, when I was struggling, instead of helping me. So now all these black bitches is like that. What the fuck? That don't make sense. I'm not indulging in compositional fallacies with my people. I know that one is not indicative of the whole damn set. Thank you, Taj. You had one bad experience, two bad experiences. I'm 47 years old. If I told you about all the bad experiences I had with motherfuckers up until I found my wife, you would crack up. Hell, my ex-wife cheated on me with my brother. You think I hate her? She's a sister. You think I hate her? Ask me if I hate my ex-wife. Because I don't. She wasn't good to me. She did me dirt. He did me dirt. I talked to her on the phone about a month and a half ago. First time in years. I told her, I said, sis, I know that our situation didn't work out right, but you my peoples. And so if you need anything from me, just give me a call. I loved that motherfucker once. Why would I ever think that she my enemy? Why? Stupidity. Absolute stupidity. This shit is bigger than all of us, fam. This shit is bigger than all of us. Grace is bigger than all of us. You got to be a living example of the grace that you want other black folk to show to you. And that's hard. It's real hard. But it's worth it. Made in Dade, what's good, fam? I don't have nothing else that I really want to talk about, but I sure in the fuck want to hear from y'all. 360-602-2667 is the number, fam. Any topic. It's been a while since we all talked. I saw Brother Richard, by the way, in the chat. Peace, Brother Richard. Yeah, fam. They came down on Cube like a ton of bricks. But you want to hear something real interesting? Joe Biden right now is vetting motherfucking Republicans for his cabinet. I gotta laugh. You motherfuckers thought that by electing Joe Biden, you were gonna get the Republicans out of the White House. That's right. Joe Biden. Let me see if I can find the article. I'll show you this shit, fam. I ain't got the lie to kick it. Damn it, if I could type. Here we go. Right here on Publico. You know, one of those right-wing websites, which it ain't. Let me get back to it here. Sorry, fam. Here we go. Biden eyes GOP candidates for cabinet slots. That's right, fam. You thought that by getting rid of the orange man, because orange man bad, that you was kicking the goddamn Republicans out of the White House. Biden is looking to bring them back in. Fam, I don't even have to make this shit up. The story writes itself. Let's look at the article, fam. Biden eyes GOP candidates for cabinet slots. Joe Biden's transition team is vetting a handful of Republicans for potential cabinet positions, despite doubts it will win him new support from the right and the risk that it will enrage the left. Fam, you should have knew that a Biden trick bag was in the offing when the Democratic National Convention had people like John Kasich, like an arch Republican, speaking at it. When he's been hanging out with Anna Navarro, right? You want to talk about a kick in the goddamn teeth? Sister Sherry, what's good, fam? I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. You want to talk about a kick in the teeth? So they telling niggas that we got to vote to get the Republicans out of the White House. So we're supposed to vote for Biden, who then will bring the Republicans back into the White House. So it's okay for Biden to cross the aisle, to speak with people on the other side, right? You know, for Biden and the Republicans to have a confab, you know, to have a sit down, to have a talk. But if Ice Cube do it, he's a race traitor and deserves nothing but opprobrium. He's scum. He should be persona non grata. So again, what the puppets of the Democrats is telling us is that it's okay if Zaddy do it, but you uppity Negroes better not think to talk to no Republicans. This motherfucking Professor Crump on Twitter talking about black women should go on sex strike for any black man that even look at a Republican. Have you seen her? I'm not usually one to diss a motherfucker's physical appearance, but if she's promising to, you know, be a part of a sex strike, I support that. Calling from 347. It's your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
You know, people complain about young black men.
Matt, what's good, fam? Is this your first time calling?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hey, I'm glad to have you, fam. Welcome. I hope you become a part of the black sheep herd, man. We glad to have you. What's on your mind, man?
Well, you just saw me texting about a public bank.
I did, and here's the thing, fam. I actually think your ideas are great. I don't know if you've read Marissa Baradarin's The Color of Money, but she also
I have it right here.
Yep,
I have it right here. I follow Yvette.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. I follow Yvette. I follow Marissa on Twitter. She's funny as hell, by the way, and her book is amazing. Right, so I know I wasn't shooting down the idea, but what I'm saying is I don't want us to get caught up in what I'm starting to see is this respectability thing, because that's something that us black folk really get caught up in, right? We'll be like the law this and the rules that. Nobody else really operate like that. Now that's not to say I crave chaos and I just want to see the world burn or anything like that, fam. But I don't want us to ever again get caught up in a respectability that the rest of America don't have to operate in. You follow me, brother?
All right.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking. Hey, you got the floor, fam. What's on your mind?
Well, I live in the projects.
I'm from the projects, fam. All right. I'm from the projects myself, fam.
Well, they're trying to like privatize it. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea was in my mind, how do they get to do that when I've been living here for more than 50 years and I don't have any equity? Yeah. So my move was, okay, then we got to figure out how to control the property. So from step by step by step, I kept turning around to try to figure out who owns it, where do we buy it from, how do we get the money? And the end of the story was I had to go to, well, it's all about a bank. Because the world is controlled by the central banking warfare model. Absolutely. And that's what the Fed is. The Fed is a private bank. Yep. So the only way that people can have the opposing bank, because you need two banks to make a current flow, is the public bank. Public banks are a hybrid economy. I agree with you to a certain extent, but we'll talk about it. Please finish your statement, brother. Go ahead. Yeah. It's a hybrid economy, number one. And number two, there's a couple of bills in the New York legislature right now. Mm-hmm. It's already gone through 4 iterations. It's been there for 2 years. It's at the legislature is at the end of the session. So my whole proposal, in a nutshell, is that if you put all the energy that we got on that one point, they could not deny us a public bank in New York. Got you. Once a public bank happens in New York, that's people in control of the money, which is like $2 trillion that we can pull into a public bank. We can't do that with a smaller financial institution.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And if we can get $2 trillion into our public bank in New York, that puts it up to the level of the reparations number, which is $20 trillion, because leverage will make it 20 rather than the 2. And our credit will begin to stop the central banking warfare model from global slavery.
Mm-hmm. Now, I hear you, fam. Now, I told you I agree with you in part, and then I have an issue in part. So I'll first share where I agree with you. I agree that the central banks and the IMF, the whole world warfare pillage the world model has been how everything is operated, right? We know this, and that's across the board in every country on the planet, all right? 100%. So I absolutely agree with you there, and that shit has to end. Now, where I kind of waver a little bit is in how to make it end, because there is another method that doesn't require us to open up a damn thing. And not only that, but it's national. It's not just New York. Because one of the issues that I'm concerned about, I'm not saying I'm worried about it, I will just say I'm concerned about it, is that there's a lot of states that are doing things as regards justice for our people. Look at our brothers and sisters who were able to fight for, was it AB 12, any ADOS family in the chat?
Yeah, AB 857.
Thank you. In California, right? That Newsom signed recently, right? And I know that you just mentioned that legislation in New York, and there's legislation in other places too, right? And this is all well and good, right? I'm for each and every last one of these efforts. But Dr. Derrick himself expressed a concern that we don't get caught up in these. He didn't. Yeah, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Monty. Right, 3121. That we don't get lost in the sauce by getting swamped up in state actions where national action is required. Now, why am I mentioning that? Because there is a solution to our problem for our justice claim that is nationwide, meaning that it does not matter what state is involved or not involved. And it is something that the government could do tomorrow. If you haven't done so, fam, I recommend that you do a brief study, if you're able, of modern monetary theory, or MMT. I'll give you kind of the too long didn't read version of MMT. What MMT says is that America essentially can create any amount of currency it needs to address any obligations it wants, because it is the issuer of its currency. It is a sovereign currency issuer. Now, it currently uses the mechanism of the Fed to do that, right? But that is not to say that America can't issue its own currency. And thus, America can issue any amount of currency to address any of its needs, debts, obligations, issues, etc. You follow me so far?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because of one reason. America is the United States, the whole of the 50 states, plus, Puerto Rico, Guam, all that shit, right? Okay. Meaning that if America adopts the MMT model, we don't have to worry about what the states are doing. The states can't do what America can do because the states aren't sovereign issuers of currency. Sure, New York can open up a public bank, and I think the states truly should do this, right? There's only one other state that I know of that has a public bank, and that's North Dakota. And North Dakota has been running in a surplus forever, right? Public banks just make sense, right? So I'm surprised that there isn't more states that are looking to incorporate and institute public banks, right? But with that said, none of these public banks have their own currency, right? So what you end up with is that they're still beholden to the United States government and whoever they authorize to issue currency in order to have funds in their public bank. Well, if the United States government adopts an MMT model as far as economics goes and understands that all it has to do is simply create the currency it needs, spend it into the economy, and then using various mechanisms and means create a monetary cycle, a push and pull, right, of the currency, it doesn't have to worry about inflation, doesn't have to worry about devaluation or any of that, right? So I'm with you that there are definitely things that the states should and can be doing that help bring forth justice for us, that create that impetus for our justice claim to be honored, right? But I want you to look at other options as well, such as modern monetary theory. There was a book recommended in the chat, brother, and I hope you check it out. I actually read the book. It's a great book, The Deficit Myth. The author's name is Stephanie. You know what? We don't have to guess. Let's look it up, fam. I'll show you here in a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also was.
Yep, The Deficit Myth by Stephanie Kelton. It's a great fucking book. I'm telling you, pick it up at your earliest convenience. It's well worth it. All right, and it'll give you a really solid basis on MMT and just how effective MMT could be in having our justice claim honored and addressed.
If I understand MMT, it just means they push a button and they give the trillions out.
Exactly, exactamundo. But fam, that's how they're doing it now. How do you think that Barack Obama did the TARP program? He simply made the print and press go brrr, and there it was.
See, the reason for the public bank, and remember, the public bank is bonded by the Treasury, so it's federal. It's going to be a federal system. Every state can model the system that New York uses. But the point is, the federal bank, the federal treasury, bonds the local state, and that's the protection. So the thing that Maradaran says is the lack of protection is why black capital was constantly threatened.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We saw what happened to the Freedmen's Bank. They defrauded the shit out of the Freedmen's Bank. They took our pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and dollars and stole them yet again.
Right. So we want protection for the money, and if having a public bank in every state happens, then we're having automatically the issue of protection taken care of. And that's the thing I want. I want the money to fall into the right coffers, into the right bank or the right vault, the right safe, because then the people actually are going to participate in the use of the money. And like Baradaran says, that makes the money a democratic utility. Right now, the money is private credit.
Yep, absolutely.
So the people have nothing to do with how the money is spent. If the money goes into the public bank, then the people have to make referendums and determine how it gets spent. And the first places it's going to get spent is in infrastructure projects, so you'll instantly have jobs.
Yep.
The next place will be spent in social services, so medicine and medical services goes down. And
Yep.
once you start paying the cops are going to be nice to you because you're actually paying their salary.
You know what, Mike? Here's another thing to note, though, too. If you read Mercer Baradaran's work, right, The Color of Money, she also mentions another vehicle, another option, right? Because I'm of the mind that if we as black folk, right, as Negroes, try to get America to invent something new, America is not innovative. America is iterative, right? When we look at our treatment under this system, first as chattel, right? All of the different systems of white supremacy that we've existed under aren't new. They're simply iterative, right? They iterate from generation to generation, right? So asking America to really come up with something new is, I think, a losing proposition. However, Marisa Baradaran mentioned the idea of a postal bank. We have post offices in every area of the country. Right? A postal bank would do exactly the same thing without the need for the states to even get involved in the first place. Right? So even if the states decided that maybe a state bank, a public bank for themselves wasn't necessarily the move, having a postal bank, right, would also accomplish the same thing. Right? So I'm in other words, fam, I'm with you. I think you're on the right track. You're thinking of solutions, and I can appreciate anybody that's looking for solutions. We talk enough about the fucking problems. We need solutions, and so I'm right there with you, fam. You definitely are on the right track.
Okay, well, when I respond to that, I would say that the point of the bank is because we need to fund the infrastructure projects, and the postal bank would only be for fees or for generating banking services. Our interest is to have a community that can take care of themselves and be self-sustaining by connecting directly to the trustees of the bank, knowing who they are, having relationships with the bankers directly. And that's not what we do now. They have a private relationship with all of those people. And the Fed would become the back office for the public bank.
Agreed. The Fed would be nothing but little money engineers making sure the machine run. I'm with it. Like, I understand completely where you're coming from, right? Like, and you know what? Believe it or not, these ideas are not going to go away, right? Like, even with us black folks starting to look at these as possible solutions to our issues with our justice claim, with reparations and a black agenda and so on and so forth, these things have the potential to do great things for America in general, right? So these ideas are definitely not going away. And with us starting to have these real conversations about, oh, well, you know, how are we going to make them white people give us No, we starting to talk about actual real solutions, and we start putting some impetus behind them along with the rest of America to let everybody in America know that just because black people can get a chance to come up, it doesn't mean that everybody has to lose. In other words, being able to communicate the fact that justice for black people is not a fucking zero-sum game, right? Like, where we have to rob people, you know, rob Peter to pay Paul, right? That alone can start shifting the needle, start moving the window towards our justice claim. We will never have everybody in America be on board with reparations for black folk. That's never going to happen. And it shouldn't even be our goal, right? Our goal should be to be coming up with solutions that make enough sense that to not pursue those solutions gives America no outs. So then, should we ever have to stop politics, stop talking, and start fighting, can't nobody come and say shit to us. Because we can say, hey, we laid out plan after plan, idea after idea to get this done, all of which would have not only been beneficial for us, but beneficial for the nation as a whole. And you told us to go fuck ourselves. Well, damn you, right? So, yeah, fam, I absolutely agree 100%. Like, there's a whole host of ideas out there that are great and that we need to really start studying as a people and start putting our efforts and impetus behind that. I'll be honest with you, fam. This election don't mean shit to me. The president is chosen. The president is chosen.
I was just thinking the idea of the bill is a possibility that pushes us further afield to making a move that connects us to the money.
I agree.
We always follow the money.
I agree 100%. We should be following every dollar in this damn country. All of it, to a certain extent, was built off of the blood and the bones and the efforts of our ancestors. It shouldn't be a dollar that passed into anybody's hands in this country black people don't know about. And that's another job that's going to be on us, to start educating each other as to where the money going, who's holding what, who's doing what, so on and so forth. You dig? Right? So I'm right there with you on that. Like, at this point, we have some work to do, which is why all this distraction, all these beefs, all this mess, I don't have time for it. The work continues. Right. I don't care who like who. I don't care who get along with who. I don't care who want to lead what. I don't care who's got the personality, who don't. None of that shit. What I care about is two things: reparations for my people and a black agenda that ensures our status as the most American of Americans. If you're not talking about that, black, white, Indian, Asian, gay, straight, rich, poor, I don't care. I'm not listening to you.
All right, my brother.
So fam, I appreciate you. Like I said, man, I hope you become a member of the herd. We here at the Black Sheep, you know what I'm saying, at Outcast, Black Outcast Media, we all about the solutions here, fam. You are definitely welcome here.
Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, brother. Peace to you, fam.
Peace.
Fam, great call, man. Woo! That was solid. Yeah, Scott, we would need a government that was looking to do something like that, but I can guarantee you, after 4 years, well, to be fair, after a year plus of Biden and 2 or more years of President Harris, Fam, you know, that reminds me. You want to talk about a motherfucking kick in the teeth? We canceled that motherfucker Kamala Harris. She got canceled. I remember specifically, we said no to Kamala Harris. Crazy. Calling from 912, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind? Hey caller, this is your man Mark Black, calling from 912. What's your name, where you calling from, what's on your mind?
This is actually B Sky.
Hey, what's up, Ashley? How you be?
I'm all right. I actually have a question for you. What do you think about the media landscape? Because I'm looking at what they did to Ice Cube, and they completely mischaracterized what was going on with him.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to deal with this current mainstream media landscape as we try to push for reparations.
So what do I think about the current media landscape? I think that Trump isn't 100% wrong when he says that a lot of this shit is fake news, right? It's a lot of faux controversy, right? So they make up controversy. They have an agenda, a definite agenda. Some of the agendas that people say they have, I'm not necessarily 100% on board with, but they definitely have political and economic agendas. And to answer your question, what it will take for us to combat them is that we need to commit to supporting media that isn't towing that line, right? We have to expand black media. The thing is that I have my own issues, right? Because I don't like to try to answer this type of question because I'm an interested party in it. And let me explain what I mean by that. I am a member of the black media. At least I like to think of myself as such, right? And so I don't want to be like, well, hey, just support black media, because there's a lot of people out there that are part of the black media that be on some fuckery, that be on some bullshit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Right.
Not all of it is good.
Yeah, you know, so there's a lot of black media out there that's just problematic. But with that said, we are going to have to expand our discernment as a tribe and really start to put real heft behind people that we know are consistently delivering us information, right? And so if I may I offer some guidelines to help us do that, right? Because I don't ever like to talk about problems without offering solutions, right? One of the ways in which we can start to kind of expand our understanding of what constitutes media is we need black media that isn't just about inspiration, but is also about education and information. In other words, we need a black media that will sometimes just tell us what the facts are, not what to think about the facts. If that makes any sense. You following me so far, fam?
That's true.
Right? Because a lot of the time, and don't get me wrong, my whole channel is built off of people valuing my commentary on the facts. But I make no bones about the fact that this is my commentary. Nobody is bound by a damn thing I have to say. And regardless of what my commentary is, the facts remain the facts. In other words, we need to support black media that is about media integrity, about the facts. Sure, you can have your opinions, you can have your commentary, and if people value your commentary, of course, they'll let you know that. Right? But at the end of the day, my job is to provide you not just with inspiration, but with education and information. Not just to provide that to you, to also to provide that to myself. Right? There's certain topics that I need to study. Like when the Rona showed up, fam, I had to become essentially an amateur virologist and epidemiologist to be able to talk intelligibly to my fellow black sheep about this subject, so that when Trump was going around talking all this bullshit about like a miracle, it's just going to go away and all this stuff, I could tell my family, no, it's actually airborne. No, this is what's going on. No, this is what we really need to pay attention to, right? So we need to support black media that is integral, meaning that it's not just people spouting off at the mouth, but actually providing you with real information. And we also need to educate. We need to support Black media that educates viewers on how to consume media. Because like Sister
That's
Sherry,
what I was going to say. We need media literacy, because I think it's also important that we weaken the mainstream media by lowering their ratings. Because if you look at the way CNN did Ice Cube, he said on Twitter that it looked like he was banned for a few months. So what they did is they let him go the rounds on some non-mainstream networks and Black media and generate some controversy on Twitter, and then they bring him on because they know he's a ratings cash cow. Like, so they had a dual intent with using Ice Cube. It's like, we're going to get the ratings to bring him on, and then we're also going to get the shield for the Democrats at the same time.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, though, is that one thing that is to our benefit about the pale stream media, that's what I call them, right, is that they're transparent. There's no real secrets anymore when it comes to Black people. In other words, sure, do Black people need some education on how to consume media? Yes, we do, right? Which is why I've done videos discussing logical fallacies, why I've done videos discussing proper argumentation, why I've done videos discussing critical thinking. Right? Because we do need that education as a people in order to know whether or not we're being fed a line of bullshit or not. But at the end of the day, no Black person should really be confused about the role of the pale stream media. They manufacture consent. They manufacture the consent needed to maintain white supremacy. That is their first and foremost goal. Whether they pretend to be on the D side or the R side doesn't really matter. Right? They take both sides. And so
the D-side did a masterclass job this election cycle.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Fam, this whole shit has been a masterclass at how pale stream media operates. Whether you're watching.
They engineered this thing for Biden.
Thank you. Thank you. Right down the line, from the whole Tara Reid thing to the dismissal of our concerns over the multiple. See, we talk about the crime bill of 1994. That was just the final nail in the coffin. There were 4 other crime bills that Joe Biden had his name on. One in 84, one in 87, right? One in 90, one in 92, and then the final one in 1994. But they shut any discussion of those crime bills down. We're not even supposed to. Yeah, he did.
And in addition, I remember, I'm not really a Bernie supporter, but I mean, MSNBC was going ham on this man. I mean, Chris Matthews basically called the man Hitler and ended up having to step down. They were just going, wow, they were putting their thumb on the scale big time.
Oh, no doubt. And that's just in the media. Let's not talk about the chicanery in the various states where they altered primary voting mechanisms and things like that to ensure that Bernie. Look, I'm no Bernie fan. I burnt Bernie Sanders and his supporters bad during the primaries, okay? But anybody who would try to pretend that Bernard Sanders would not have been far and away a vastly better candidate for the Democrats than Jim Crow Joe is out of their fucking mind.
They did things in the caucuses where they made, Pete Buttigieg look more competitive than what he was. That was engineered as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, they tried to. I remember as early as February when Kamala announced at Howard on Martin Luther King's birthday, they tried to make Kamala Harris the second coming of Barack Obama. They had her as the front runner, even though she couldn't even in the primaries when we finally started voting, right, for who was going to get the nod for the Democrats. Kamala could, after a while, she couldn't even get up above 1%. She got canceled. And now she's the VP. Man, it seems like Joe Biden's whole campaign was designed to alienate Black people. Everything about his fucking campaign was designed to shit on us.
What is he running for? Those so-called Reagan Democrats? I think that's what he's trying to do.
You know what Tone called it a long time ago? He said that the Democrats keep trying to chase the ghosts of white voters. The white Dixiecrats that left the party and went over to the Republicans. And that is true as hell. Right? We all know that Biden ain't got no problem fucking with and schmoozing with Republicans. Hell, he was buddies with Robert Byrd and Strom Thurmond and this, that, and that. These are arch white supremacists. Right? And Biden was buddy with them. But we supposed to...
This is wild, the revisionism we do.
Oh my God, man. No, they told us that we're the ones that are doing the historical revisioning because they try to store up in our face that it was so many black folk who supported the Biden crime bill. But you got to understand something, fam. If you got black folk who have no political power under Clinton didn't even fuck with us like that. Sure, he would play the saxophone for us, but this was the same Bill Clinton that while he was running for office hurried up and went back to Arkansas to oversee the motherfucking death penalty, the death penalty execution of a mentally retarded black man. Like, he was not our fucking friend. So it wasn't like we had a bunch of power.
And I remember from Georgia, I'm from Georgia, and I remember that whole Stone Mountain incident.
Yep. So here's the thing. We got no power really in a Clinton administration. They made it clear that they're not your grandfather's Democrats, right? That they're not giving a fuck about providing aid and assistance to disadvantaged and, people, black people, this, that, and the third, right? So they completely triangulated and pivoted to the right. You dig? And Biden comes and says, okay, niggas, here's what we gonna do. We're going to start locking these motherfuckers up because we know y'all tired of shootings and shit happening in your community. We're not going to investigate the Republican administrations or hold anybody accountable for Iran-Contra and the fact that they're trafficking this poison into our community and was allowed to do so by the government. We're not going to investigate any of that. We're not going to start no government jobs programs to take the gangs and the young brothers that's out there trying to feed their families and wilding out in the streets to do it. We're not going to give these young brothers jobs. No, we're going to take these super predators and lock them the fuck up. And we're going to throw a little money y'all way if y'all shut up and let us do it. How you supposed to say no? They talking about all these black people that supported it, but they didn't have any other options. It wasn't like there was any other legislation on the table. It wasn't like there was any other legislation they was even able to consider. So how are they supposed to say no? If they want to remain aligned with this party that they think, that they believe is in some way aligned with their interests, right? Then why would they say no? So throwing all the black support for Biden's crime bill up in our face just highlights all the other people who were culpable in aiding and abetting the crime that he committed against our community. That's not a help to him. That's a shit on the rest of them.
In my opinion, it looks like to me, both him and Schultz are just throw on different colored clan sheets. That's all I care.
I hear you, fam. There's literally zero difference.
To me, and then the pet, Joe Biden's pet, Obama didn't serve us that well either. Like, I got into arguments this weekend over the whole issue with the courts because, people want to convince people to vote for Biden because of the court. And I was like, the courts are already screwed, and also this so-called conservative court that we have is making some unusually, liberal opinions on everything but black issues. In addition, like, people want to blame Mitch McConnell for what happened to the courts, but Obama had a stupid philosophy about the courts in the first place such that he let them accumulate within his first term, and then the Senate flipped. Like, so...
Wait a minute, and Barack Obama was a damn constitutional scholar.
Obama, revise.
Mm-hmm. Barack Obama was a constitutional scholar. That was his thing when he was in law school, was constitutional law. And this man leaves 125 different federal judiciary seats open for Trump to just come in and go, yep, looks good, let's fill him. And nobody's got nothing to say about that. Like, nobody's got shit on. Like, nobody in the Democrats got anything to say on the fact that Barack Obama left all those damn vacancies open?
That's all they got is Mitch McConnell, and they pretend like the first term of Obama didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They act like there wasn't a time when Barack Obama had the House, the Senate, a favorable court, and the whole 9 yards. And the best...
He said that like 70 seats came open within the first term, and he only submitted names for 30-something of them.
Wait a minute, fam. Not only that, but you mean to tell me you got the White House, you got a favorable court, you got the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the best thing you can do, your signature piece of legislation, your legacy, is Romney Care. The fuck?
Bingo. And that was his excuse for not filling the courts with, more progressive people. He went chasing after moderates because they claimed that they didn't want to attract attention to the courts while he was trying to push through his weak-ass Obamacare plan.
Fam, and you know the crazy part about it is, it's like, in hindsight, in retrospect, we look back at Barack Obama and he told us to our fucking face what he was about. This fool said that his greatest political influence was Ronald Reagan. Like, how much did you need to hear that this motherfucker was basically a Republican in a blue suit?
Yeah, it should have been wrapped in.
Right? Like, he told us straight up who he was. But see, fam, because of our thraldom, and that's a word meaning our enslavement to the Democrats, and I don't like using that word, but it's actually appropriate because our response to Democratic entreaties is a lot like the response to slaves when masters say he's sick, right? Like, massive, like, oh, I'm sick. And they're like, oh, boss, I'm sorry, we sick. Like, no, it ain't we, motherfucker. Like, but the thing is that because of our thraldom, right, our feeling that we're beholden to the Democrats for anything, it kind of limits our ability to really act in our own interests. Because the moment that they come to us with these fear-filled, I won't even call them arguments, they're just basically begging entreaties, we're weak to them. You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
no matter how much data you throw out to people showing that, like, look, we're not really in control of these elections. Y'all probably need to go start begging the Latin and some more white folks, like maybe the better white folks, instead of just begging for us. People say, oh, it's our fault when, for example, black men dip down to 80% support of the Democrats. That makes no sense. So it's like we can't even go maybe like to the mid-70s without a bunch of black gatekeepers trying to herd us back.
You know what's really
crazy? That's
what's
really going on with this Ice Cube thing.
What's really crazy, what should really bake your noodle, is the fact that they have no answer for the fact that black folk are disaffected. See, here's the thing, right? If black men, okay, so let's say, for the sake of argument, that black men really are vulnerable from the right for some strange reason, even though black men tend to be the most progressive group of people in the country, second to none. Like, there's not a piece of legislation that is in any way progressive that most black men don't get behind. Sure, do we have things that we share with the Republican Party as black men? Yeah, we do. First of all, a lot of black men are against unfettered immigration. Why? Because we know we have to go compete with these motherfuckers for these limited jobs that we got. We're not stupid, right? You can't just wish away our concerns about immigration by telling us it's not a fucking problem. We know it's a problem, right?
There's that.
Yeah, if you
the fact that you put a 2-crime bill candidate.
Well, no, even beyond that, fam, I'm talking about just in general, right? I'm talking about general right wing and general left wing, right? If black men do have some things that we feel conservative about, one is immigration. That's been clear as fuck that black men are clearly to the right on immigration. That's not something to blame us on. That's just what we are. We understand that unfettered immigration is a death knell to us as black men specifically, right? Okay, so immigration is one. The second is the Second Amendment. You're not taking guns out of the hands of black men no more. We're not going for that shit. That's never gonna fly. It doesn't matter who you are, with whatever party you are. If you talking about taking guns away from people, black men are not supporting you. I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be the best candidate the Democrats ever put forward, and you start talking about assault weapons bans and your Second Amendment shit. No, fuck you. I'm not giving up my guns for shit because I know where I live.
Not only all of this, but has anybody ever thought about, you know how you can possibly disaggregate the Latino data? Yeah, somebody, especially with the rise of immigration in the U.S., including black immigration, why can't somebody disaggregate our data? Because I also think that Africans and even some Caribbeans in particular, they tend to be more conservative on average than ADOS.
Oh, far and away.
You might be seeing that in the data now.
Far and away. As a matter of fact, you don't even, the data is important, but anecdotally, you can even see that. Consistently, you see Nigerians and other groups, you know what I'm saying, leaning conservative, right? Because they come from environments where it's not like how we live as black men in this country. We don't have to like a lot of facts about black people, but there's a lot of facts about black people that are different from other so-called black people. For example, in our communities, women tend to run the show. You don't have to like that, but it's true. Women have a degree more mobility in this society than we do. That's just facts. We can see it. Women have better education outcomes. Women have better outcomes when dealing with the justice system. I'm talking about black women, right? Other people from other places, even though they have black skin, their systems are set up to where men usually have the primacy of place in those things. They dictate the terms in those things. So when they come here, they like a president who talks about what they consider manly shit. Like you look at Latinos, machismo is a real big thing in the Latino community, right? I used to hang out with a bunch of Mexican folk in KC, right? Over on the west side, because I spoke Spanish and shit, right? And I used to go in the house and I was shocked because there was little 5 and 6 year old boys telling their abuelas, their grandmothers, what to do. And she would grumble.
Yeah, that wouldn't cut it out.
Yeah, and she would grumble and then she would go and do it. He would be like, Grandma, I'm hungry. Go get me some food. And she'd be like, nah, you know, she'd be cursing in Spanish, but she'd come back with a plate. And then when she go back in the kitchen, quietly, in there with the other women, she's like, look at my little man. He's growing up. He's such a manly man. Look at him. Right? So these people operate in a different cultural kind of paradigm than how black folk operate. So why wouldn't they tend towards conservative? And we see that bear out in Hispanic voting. They consistently 30 and 40%. And depending on the Hispanic group, if you're talking about Cubans, them motherfuckers have been voting Republican forever in a month of Sundays.
You see that with them and as well as the Caribbean blacks down in Florida, which is a swing state. Nobody even talk about that.
Facts. Right? Facts. So to sit here and act like because Trump was able to get 8% of the black male vote in the last election means that somehow or another black men are weak to Republicans. You're out of your fucking mind. Like, and then let's not even talk about the fact of all the mass disenfranchisement of black men. When you got 700,000 plus black men incarcerated in the state, local, and federal level, many of which are incarcerated because of felonies, meaning that they have lost their right to vote. Why would you even need to go and cater to immigrants when you already have a built-in voter base who's already been told by their grandma, their great-grandpa, and everybody to vote Democrat? All you have to do is just re-enfranchise black felons, and you'll increase voter turnout by a fuck ton.
Oh, wait, the Supreme Court doesn't want to do that, and therefore we should vote for Biden. You saw what they did with the Florida felons, right?
Yeah, they basically told the Florida felons that they got to pay a poll tax if they want to vote.
Yeah, with some made-up fees.
But see, where the fuck are the Democrats on any of this? See, they quick to come at us. They quick to send their gatekeepers and they bootlicks, right, and they pets to come at us, especially black men, right? But where's the answer to all? So if we're weak from the right, right? If black men are weak from the right, where's the counterattack from the left, right? If I come to you, brother, and I say to you, hey man, man, you should come and kick it with us. You know what I'm saying, man? We be going here and we do this and we do that, blah, skippity woo woo, right? But then your peoples watch you come and kick it with us, or be getting told, to come kick it with us, but they never ask you to come kick it with them. Then why they get the right to be mad when you come and kick it with us?
They be mad. Go run after your little white people.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, if I come to you and I'm like, hey fam, you should come kick it with us. We go hang out here and we go do this, but nobody else ever come and ask you to come kick it. Then they don't have a right to be mad if you come and kick it with us. So if the Republicans is at least trying to make some entreaties toward black people, even if it's maybe on a couple of items that black people might be aligned with Republicans on. But the Democrats ain't offering us shit in return. They're not coming and asking us for anything. They're telling us to shake your booty to the polls. Then why the fuck be mad if we don't vote for you?
Exactly. And the funny thing about the Democrats and that whole Ice Cube thing is he said, okay, they initially approached him, but they said, wait until after the election and we might offer you a seat at the table. Now people only interpreted the part where they said wait, but I thought about it a little bit deeper and realized, like, oh, of course they think that offering a celebrity a so-called seat at the table would be an effective thing because, say they do get elected, they can bring him in and then neutralize him.
Yep.
Because it would be more difficult to criticize what they are doing or not doing if he's a part of whatever.
You know what? They already started. I don't know if you noticed, but Congresswoman, what's her name? Sheila Jackson Lee. We've been trying to get Sheila Jackson Lee to move on action to revise H.R. 40 with Dr. Darity's revisions for months. She don't reach out to none of us.
Step down.
Cube mentions it. He mentions revising H.R. 40. He mentions Dr. Darity. Now she wants to have a sit down. They already started.
Yep.
They already started. Now it's up to our brother Cube to stay connected to the ground roots rather than start getting connected with all the pets. If he stays connected with the people, we'll keep him on the straight and narrow. Because we've been riding with Cube since this whole thing came out. All these fools been telling us to cancel Cube. We like, man, fuck you. Cube was right to do what he did. So if Cube stay connected to the grassroots, if he stay connected to the tribe, he's gonna be all right. But if he get in there and get lost in the sauce, they'll have him neutralized outside of a year. We'll never hear anything else regarding any black contract with America or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It'll be done.
I'm confused at our response to this whole thing because when you think about it, if you have to be honest, you have to leave a possibility that Trump could get reelected. It's not looking good right now, but anything is possible.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, wouldn't you want to go talk to the person in power currently and say, hey, we're actually watching you and we do have our demands before we get back, in case he gets back in there and decides to continue to gut us. But I would like him to know that we're actually watching what you're doing and we don't need you to do that. But instead, people just think like you're not supposed to talk to the Republicans at all. So I'm kind of like, wait a minute. So even if this man gets back in power, we supposed to just sit around and look stupid and get gutted the whole time?
Yep, exactly. You asked, I answered. Yep. If Trump gets reelected, we supposed to sit there for another 4 years and shut the fuck up until they finally, outrage us enough to vote for whoever the Democratic candidate is in 2024. That's the facts.
It makes no sense, man.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense because, see, as a self-interested people, we shouldn't care who's in office. Truthfully. Like, that's not to say that a president doesn't have influence over our daily lives. Of course he does, right? And Donald Trump has had his issues. I'll admit and I'm admitting this publicly to show you I don't give a fuck, right? I actually was for Donald Trump before coronavirus. I think the way he handled the coronavirus was absolutely criminal, and I would never vote for him, and I didn't vote for him, right? But Donald Trump had a pretty damn good chance of getting my vote before the coronavirus, right? The thing is that we need our independence. You know, it's funny. Everybody tell black people, you know, we need to be free. We got to get free. We got to get free until it come time to actually get free. Then they want us to shut the fuck up and be quiet and suffer in silence. Right? They want us
to make YouTube videos and tweets on Trump instead of actually making demands.
Yeah, they want us they want us to be for democracy until it comes time to do democracy. And I'm sick of this shit. Either we are free people with our own interests and our right to pursue those interests with whomever, whenever, or we're slaves politically. And they need to make the motherfucking call. And we need to make that decision. Us, the people, we, black folk, need to make that decision more sooner than later. Because we were talking about 2053 when we would see black mean net worth go to zero.
Might be 2025 now.
Man, fam, with coronavirus and all this other shit, it's looking more like 2023. You see what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of time to be fucking around playing bullshit Democrat games when they have made it clear through Kamala saying, no, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something specifically for black people. No. Right? Now, fuck that. The moment she said that, she was done. I didn't want to hear shit else she had to say. There's nothing else she can't say.
I'm trying to figure out what these herders want. Do they want a job or do they just want to go back to brunch? Like, what they trying to do?
You know what it is. They want access. They want there was a sister who dropped her whole resume on Cube's timeline talking about she got a PhD in this and a PhD in that, and she writes policy briefs, you know, on issues affecting black people. But then she had one simple question that was asked by many of the black people that interacted with her after that her hyper-educated ass couldn't answer. And that question was, and what the fuck has that done for black people?
Bingo.
She got all these credentials, all these degrees, right? All these policy briefs. She's sitting at all these tables. And when you look at the motherfucking wealth gap between us and white folks, this shit still look like a goddamn gulf.
She called them receipts too. And I retweeted and I said, like, yeah, I'm sure they were really expensive, but you're clearly letting them go to waste.
You feel me? Her resume is evidence of nothing but debt, but student loan debt. Because it sure in the hell wasn't receipts on any successes that she's had in bettering our condition.
These people trying to tell Q to wait in line or something. I was like, well, if we waiting for you to get to the right portion of the line, we're going to be waiting forever because I haven't seen you. I don't even know who you are.
Facts. This woman could be bought off with one of Clyburn's fish fries and a handshake with Tulsi Gabbard. Why the fuck would I want to elevate her?
I mean, if she wasn't elevated already, then why bother? That's all I care.
Boom.
I don't care.
Boom. Fam, I'll let you have the last word, man.
Oh, no, I'm good. That's kind of all I had to say. Like, this is a mess. I'm doing the down ballot strategy, but...
Yep.
You know, I'm not in Georgia right now. I'm like away for graduate school in Utah, so you know I ain't having no effect on any national politics here. So I'm looking at the interesting thing about Utah is it's a Mormon place, so these Republicans got some weird politics out here. So they have interesting initiatives on the ballot that I'm probably gonna vote for, but all this other stuff, I'm like, I'm sure y'all just gonna put some weird Mormon Republican up in there. So
yeah, I mean, fam, you know, the down ballot strategy, like I told, you know, my ADOS fam, the issues, because the only issue, I'm gonna let this read out.
They can't get over the fact that them degrees ain't worth nothing.
Thank you, Sister Alicia. I appreciate the love, and you're absolutely right. They can't get past it. But as I was saying, fam, the only issue I had with the Democratic down ballot strat was that I never voted for a Democrat. Never, not once. I'm never going to support a Democrat or a Republican. I've always, fam, I started voting on national elections in 2012, right? I'll take this call here in just a bit, fam. So stand by. I'll take this call in just a bit. Did I take the call already? No, I didn't. Okay. But I just want to say this. I started voting nationally, right? Meaning, that's okay. B Scott, call in just a sec. I'm just gonna finish this little statement. I started voting nationally in 2012. I voted for Jill Stein and Sonia. I forget her name, right? Whoever her running mate was for the Green Party. Okay, because the Green Party has supported reparations. Now, we can have issues with how they support reparations, and I think that if you have issues with how the Greens support reparations, but you're not a Green, fuck you. Like, join the Green Party and change that shit, because they still are able to be moved, right? But I voted Green Party in 2012. Never once have I voted for a Democrat or Republican. I voted in states where I've been able to vote. We have initiatives and referenda here, so I vote on those, but I don't vote on any partisan races. I have never supported once a Republican or a Democrat. Never once. I voted socialist. I voted libertarian. I voted everything but a motherfucking Republican or a Democrat, right? In 2016, I voted for Jill Stein and Najamu Baraka, right? I had my issues with both of them. I didn't vote for the candidates. I voted for my interests, right? And again, I voted for referenda and initiatives. In 2020, I voted Green for Howie Hawkins and Angela Walker. By the way, Angela Walker's a dope sister family. I need to check her out, right? But I voted for them. Okay? Again, I don't really know shit about Howie Hawkins. And Angela Walker's dope. Matter of fact, I would have loved her at the top of the ticket, but whatever. But I wasn't voting for the people. I was voting my interests, right? The Green Party supports my interests, so I vote for them, right? I'm sick of people telling black folk that if you vote for anything other than Biden, you're voting for Trump. Okay, well, fuck you then. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of black people that vote for Trump just because they sick of the damn Democrats. And what are the Democrats going to do about that? Not a goddamn thing. Vote, shame us like they've been doing. They can kiss my ass. I would eat my ballot before I voted for Joe Biden. Not my fault the Democrats didn't put up a candidate even worth considering to vote for. That's not my fault. I had issues with Bernard Sanders, but I could have held my nose and voted for Bernard Sanders. Seriously, I'm keeping it a full ass buck. Bernard Sanders couldn't even say black without wincing. So I had my problems with Bernard Sanders. But there was nothing Bernard Sanders supported that I was necessarily against. I could have actually went out and voted for Bernard Sanders. Not my fault that the Democrats couldn't even put him in any type of running. Not my fault. Not my fault that they let Obama put his finger on the scale to fuck everything up. Not my fault. If Joe Biden loses, I'm going to celebrate and then keep my foot off in Trump's ass. If Biden wins and Trump's out, I'm going to celebrate. And I'm going to redouble my efforts to fight Joe Biden. Do you know why, family? Do you know why Mark Black is going to fight Joe Biden harder than I fought Trump? Do you know why I'm going to be against Joe Biden worse than I am against Trump? I'll tell you why. Because if Joe Biden gets elected, the rest of America is going right the fuck back to sleep. Us, the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States, are going to be the only ones fighting Joe Biden. That's factual. I promise you. The moment that Joe Biden gets reelected, everybody going to be like, it's sunrise in America. We finally got rid of the orange man. And so when our bodies continue to drop in the streets and our blood runs into the gutters, nothing to see here. You won't be seeing white folks out there holding up Black Lives Matter placards in support. Joe Biden wins, everybody else goes home. We the only ones, we always been the only fucking ones to fight. So I'm gonna give Joe Biden every bit of this motherfucking what for I got. They're gonna have to come lock my ass up. Seriously. I'm giving Joe Biden that work. The debt is the debt. I don't give a fuck if it's Jim Crow Joe or whoever the hell else it is. I don't give a damn if I'm the only one fighting. So we're going to have to fight him harder than Trump because we will be the only ones out there fighting him. We're going to be the only ones out there doing it. That's facts. Sister Taj said only ADOS know who Jim Crow Joe is, right? We the only ones that know who Catfish Clyburn is, right? But Sister Strongflower is right. Fam, you don't have to agree with everything that the Greens is on right now. But the Greens can be moved. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Puffy out here talking about starting a black political party. And then a tweet later talking about he endorses Joe Biden. What? Are you mad? Okay, make that shit make sense. So he's talking about starting a political party for our interests. And then, before we can ever even get the party off the ground, Puffy comes behind us and slits our goddamn throats. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, fam. Are the Greens perfect? No. But they're a damn shade better than what the fuck we've been offered. And we actually moved the Greens. They have a black caucus. A black American caucus as a part of the Greens. And if they don't have a caucus that encompasses your needs, you can create one under the Greens and actually move the National Green Party needle. You want reparations? How bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to quit playing, prison games and getting pimped out by the Democrats? You want it enough? You want it enough to stop doing that? And maybe take advantage of a machinery and an apparatus that we can exercise some control over? They ain't perfect. Do they got racists in the Green Party? I'm certain they do. But at least in the Green Party, I got the means to shut them motherfuckers down. So you can't tell me shit. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Both parties suck. They have no right whatsoever at this point to demand the vote of any of my tribe. Not one vote of ours should go to either one of them. A vote for anything other than Biden is a vote for anything other than Biden. A vote for anything other than Trump is a vote for anything other than Trump. Don't let them buffalo you with this shtick, this gimmick that, if you don't vote for Biden, you're automatically voting for Trump or whatever the case may be. Hold on a second, fam. Let me make sure everything's cool. I'm going to refresh this. Go ahead and try it now, fam. I'm gonna make sure I didn't automatically set this thing to. Let's see.
P. Diddy is loud and wrong. Bold progressives, democracy for America, and justice Democrats have failed.
Yep.
Pushing the Dems to the left is a fool's errand.
You ain't kidding. You are not kidding. If these fools think they actually gonna push Joe Biden to the left. Joe Biden, Joseph R. Biden, a man who at best can be described as center right and has been his entire career, is going to have an epiphany at 77 years old and all of a sudden decide that doing stuff for actual people is more important than appeasing your constituents from Wall Street and the corporations and the kleptocracy. Tell us another one. I heard that joke before and it wasn't funny then and it ain't funny now. Tell us another one. Sister Taj is spot the hell on. Yep. What the hell? You know what? I'll call you. Go ahead and pick up the phone. I called you. I don't know why it's not accepting calls or whatever. You know. But yeah, Sister Strongflower's got a good point. I personally like our odds with the Green Party. And if the Green Party don't work out, then we can start talking about doing another party of our own. We ain't beholden to nobody. We're not beholden to the Greens. We're not beholden to socialists. We're not beholden to nobody. You feel me? We are self-interested. We have no permanent friends, no permanent alliances, no permanent partners. Only permanent interests. That's it. And that's all. If the Green Party is a vehicle that we can use, let's get in that motherfucker and ride it till the wheels fall off. We don't have to sit here and put up with bullshit from Democrats and Republicans for what? The hell we look like? They're supposed to be beholden to us, not the other way around. And I'm sorry that America's too weak-willed and cowardly to actually be in D.C. right now erecting guillotines to deal with these motherfuckers. But until such time as Americans collectively grab their testicles and act like that they actually got a pair and actually demand politics that care about, oh, I don't know, people, that's not my problem. My problem is my people. That's my problem. Those are my issues. What's beneficial for my tribe? I will speak to anybody. I will use any vehicle. I will ride any damn thing. Yeah, fam, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, fam. I thought that I don't have it set to do not disturb to anything. Matter of fact, let me try to call you. Let me see if I can call you. Boom. There's the call. Answer the phone.
Hello?
Hey, sis, what's going on? Sorry about that. I don't know why I wasn't allowing your calls to come through. I don't have it set on any type of do not disturb, but I'm glad to have you call in today. What's on your mind?
Yes, first thing I got to say is that I am from Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes, ma'am. Kansas City, represent. Woo, woo.
Yes. I was in Hawaii for a minute. Now I am in Texas.
Damn, you're not even back in KC mode? I'm not gonna lie, man. I wish you was, because I would have you, hook me up with some Gates. Send it out my way. I don't know if you Gates or Bryant's, but ain't no hate. I grew up on Gates. My uncle used to manage Gates over on 12th Street and out on 104th. So
right.
Love me some Gates. Go ahead, sister.
Right. Yes, okay. This is my first time calling in, and I am a long-time listener since you've been on.
Yes, I do, sister, and I appreciate you.
Okay. You got it. Okay, this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. I'm looking at the gatekeepers right now.
Yeah.
We don't understand that we don't only have gatekeepers in the CBC, which is our caucus.
Yep.
We have them at the local level, y'all. This is deep. We have them all up and down the board, and a lot of them are in our family. I hate to say it, but I'm saying it like it is. And we love our folks, don't get me wrong.
Facts.
But something is wrong, y'all. Anytime we can read any other caucus, and that caucus pinpoint who they're talking about, whether it's the Latinos, whether or the Hispanics, whether it is the Asian population, the Jewish, the gay, they tell you who they're talking about. When I read ours, we talking about everybody.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God. But then I'm going to tell you something also. I spoke with the president in Hawaii, NAACP. He said, okay, we're not just for black people. We are a civil rights movement. I said, why do you use a black face then? You know, 9 out of 10, when we think of that organization, we think of black people. You're talking about the investment of color.
Yeah.
And you got to remember they use that interchangeably because we are the people, the colored people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Back in the day when it was founded, it was us. We were the colored people.
Right. Now they're using people of color, which is all inclusive. So they playing with us. So we thinking they talking about us. And we're trying to find out that everybody's a people of color. That's okay. Excuse me, even white folks.
Yep. Because
that is the color. Excuse me. So, I don't know, but it's time to wake up. Seriously, we need to hold them accountable, all of them.
Yep.
You know, we need to question them. All these organizations is using our face because what's happening, y'all, is that they're using our face, but come to find out, they're going to court helping other people. They're writing legislation and law and all that great stuff for other people. We're not getting anything, y'all. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it like it is. Ain't no 2053. Ain't no 2020. I'm going to call it 2015. I'm going to call it. We don't have nothing.
That's facts.
I can even go to my mother right now and say, Mom, do you have 500 I can hold? I need help. You know, we pass money through as black folks. This is how things go. When I get paid, I got an extra $100 to use, and I might be calling you in 2 weeks. Hey, do you have another $50 I can hold until? Okay, I got you. And then you call Mom, and then this is we passing around foods and fuse, y'all. We don't have it. Everybody knows this, and nobody wants to be the bottom. They know, just like we know, if we stand up, because we're the table, our backs is the table.
Yes,
if we stand up, we're going to upset everybody. Nobody wants to be the bottom. Immigrants that come here that don't have nothing, looking at us like, man, you better get to the back. How is it, and this is another thing, and I'm going to shut up because I'm going to let you speak. How is it that immigrants, and no disrespect to nobody else, can come here and use the same laws that our ancestors fought for, and we're unable to use them? Name me one person you know that has been able to use these laws in the last 20 years.
Not me. Matter of fact, affirmative action, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, why don't we just get rid of affirmative action? Because I ain't never seen it benefit nobody. Like, I'm 40, I'll be 48 in January. Should I make it, right? And I have not in 48 years seen affirmative action actually benefit any black person. Not once. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm saying I haven't seen it. And so if I haven't seen the gains that we're supposed to be getting from affirmative action, I started to ask the question, like, well, why the fuck is it there then? Like, if it don't really do nothing for me, why have it?
Right. No, it does benefit somebody, not us.
You're right.
You got to remember that. And I'm figuring this out, like you said. It's something that I can say, hey, minority and diversity. Minority and diversity is a white gay man, what's up, and a white woman. If you want a minority and diversity. That's it, right? And I hate to say that. Look at the games that are being played, y'all.
Yep.
And I believe that we need to start speaking up, not only that, with blacks, and meaning this. We talk about flatlining blackness all the time. They come in, and we already know that is they're used as a veil for us, right?
Yep.
They're put in the forefront to speak for us. I have a question. I ain't to be funny, and this is what it is. When we talk about lineage, why is someone coming from Jamaica able to use affirmative action? Why is so? I'm not no disrespect to none, because these are all our brothers and sisters, but this is for us. It's the reason why we're getting it. So you can come over here, like you said, from any other country, and just because you got brown skin or a minority, that means other than white, you can use all the things that will be afforded to us to use. Well, I don't give a damn on how dark your skin is. Why are you able to use this stuff? It's a reason why I'm able to.
You know what, sister? I figured it out a long time ago. I describe black immigrants, because again, I'm not against anybody's ethnicity, race. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand I am a part of a diaspora and we are all children of Africa. I'm not a fool, right? But that being said, there's a reason I describe diasporans and continental Africans as America's devil's food cake, sugar-free devil's food cake, because they are all of the blackness, right? So they come with all of the stuff that people like about blackness, our color, this, that, and the third, right? But none of the justice claim. You ever notice how, sister, whenever you in an environment where it's, even if it's just you, and you in there with a whole bunch of white folks, how uncomfortable they feel around you? You ever notice that? Like, you ever notice how they be sitting there and it feel like they smiling, but something don't seem right. They seem like they skin crawl, right? And you just like, man, I'm just chilling. What's up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? You trying to be nice. You may not even be on no radical shit. You just there on the scene, right? But they feel uncomfortable because they know dealing with you what they actually have to deal with, right? They know when they talk to you, sister, there's a whole history that comes behind that, right? But when these foreign blacks come in, they don't bear that history. And so the moment they open their mouth and they speak with an accent and they go, hey, and they smile with that real 30, big 32-2 smile, like they're eager to please and that's not a third. These motherfuckers, they can't wait to exhale. They like, oh, he good. He's not one of them. He's not going to rock the boat. And of course, most immigrants don't come here thinking, okay, so here's the plan. We're going to get into America on green cards, right? But we're really there to help the black people, our brothers and sisters there in America. That's not said no immigrant ever, right? No black immigrant ever came here and said that. You feel me? Right. They all come here with their mind on their money and their money on their mind. And if they got to step on us to get it, well, shit, so what, right? They don't care. So the reason why they're able to do that is because, like you said, it covers multiple bases. One, it allows them to claim diversity, right? They can tokenize these immigrants because they don't take offense to being tokenized. For them, it's a come up, right? Like if you go to Harvard as an immigrant, a black immigrant, and you become the first something at Harvard, you can hold that up to your family and friends on your resume, right? Like it increases your social cachet. You dig? So they're not going to feel any kind of way about being tokenized. Number two, white America feels more comfortable with them because they know that they don't have that same history with them, that same debt with them that they do with us. No matter what, when they're around us, that's how they feel. They all come here for their self-interest, right? But Taj is right. The liberals try to gaslight us to say that, oh, well, they just come here for a chance at the American dream, just like we all got. Except, wait a minute, we don't all have access to the American dream. Black folk are still waiting for access to the American dream. So the liberals is already talking shit out of the gate from get-go. I wouldn't have a problem with immigration if my people wasn't on the bottom. If we wasn't having to compete with a day one new booty foreigner who barely knows the damn language. What issue would I have with immigration if my people were in a position where we belong? None. But we have every right to have an issue with immigration because they're not coming here to compete with Becky and Brad and Karen and John and Susan and Michael. They're coming here to compete with Raheem and Jerome and Shanae and Alma and Taj. They're not coming here to compete with everybody else. They coming here to step on our backs like everybody else and get they come up. And yeah, I got a fucking problem with that. I got a fucking problem with that. Lion says the greatest weapon the colonial powers used in the past has been the ability to divide and conquer. You can't divide nobody that's together, really. Like, everybody talk about how the white man came and divided Africa. Man, Africa got like 3,000 different languages, a goddamn gob of tribes, and so on and so forth. This is the last call I'm going to take, fam. I know I've been meaning to get a bunch of calls, but I got to start wrapping this up. Caller from 301 is your man, Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind? Caller from 301 is your man, Mark Black. Hey, make sure to turn down your background so we can have good call quality. What's your name, where you calling from, what's on your mind?
Peace, my brother. Peace, my brother.
Brother Richard.
You get a chance to talk to the boomer lad.
That's right. I get to talk to the elder. What's good, fam?
To the boomer generation. But I tell you what's been going on in my life lately, and I think you're in the same vein, and you are advocating for the same thing. I was watching a documentary the other day on the Civil War. It's basically the Civil War, but it had to do with Sherman when he said he was going to make Georgia house. You know,
yeah,
William Tecumseh Sherman.
Yeah,
you know, he said I'm gonna make them house.
That's right. And he did too.
And he said another thing. He said, you know, during his campaign, he said war is cruel and you cannot refine it. I said Sherman had some hell of a saying, but you know he was still a racist, but he was for the Union and everything. Yep. But he was still a racist. But he had some good. He did meet Sherman did meet with the black leaders of that time, and they came up with the 40 acres and the mule.
You sure damn right. Trying to tell us we can't talk to Trump. Sherman was just as racist as any other American was at that time. You dig? But we were still able to have a sit down and get justice done. Go ahead, Brother Richard.
Yeah. He met with the enslaved leaders of that time, and they came up and said, well, if our people had some land or had some occupation, said that would be suffice, you know. So then they came up with the 40 acres and the mule. But just think, our people need to think, if the energy that they wasted bashing Ice Cube, if they'd have came out and used that same energy to bash the Democratic Party, why can't you meet with Ice Cube? The saying should have been, why don't you meet with Ice Cube? If all of them had got on the same subject, had came with that same thing, they could have made the Democratic Party howl.
Yep.
You got to make them howl. If you can't make them howl, if we can't make them howl, then we're not going to ever get our justice claim. And the only power that we really have now, basically, the most power that we have in this time and era is our vote. You know, our collective vote can really throw a blow this time if we really want to use it that
Absolutely.
way. But,
Absolutely. Somebody asked me, Brother Richard, and I know you're going to feel me on this one. Somebody asked me, said, they always tell us that now is not a good time to vote third party. So when is it a good time to vote for third party? I replied to them and told them any election for any office anywhere in the country is a good time to vote third party.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, like Dr. King said when he was in the Birmingham jail, he said they always been telling them to wait. and this ain't the time to do this, you're in the wrong place and so forth. But he took a different, that was a long letter he wrote from the Birmingham
I love
jail.
that letter. To me, that was one of his greatest writings, was the letter from a Birmingham jail. It gives me inspiration every single day. I actually reread it often.
And we gotta realize there's certain people that we've got to counsel, you know. There's certain people that are out here that are talking and so forth. I seen a meeting I seen a meeting on the news where Barack Obama was meeting with some of the black leaders or some of the black leadership in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, we got to come to reality and so forth. We got to start dealing with reality. He was talking about he connected himself or his lineage with our lineage. But Barack Obama lineage is not our lineage. He did all the pandering and everything, but he's not one of us. We've got to realize that it's a hurting thing. And I know a lot of black people was proud, and a lot of black people are still support him and so forth. But when he talk about, this is not the land where his ancestors died for he's not in the same lineage of the ancestor line as we are. Mm-hmm. We've got to face it. It's not in his DNA. He has tried to, he has played basketball. He's shown he played basketball. Listen to little Stevie Wonder, but that's nothing compared to what he could have done politically. When the black community came out and tried to persuade him to select a black lady to the Supreme Court, no, I'm going with that. He could have used that as leverage for the black people to come out and vote for Hillary Clinton. He didn't even use that as leverage for the black people to come out and vote by even nominating a black woman. That would have put the Republicans on the spot as being racist. So he didn't use any political savvy. Kamala Harris, she didn't use any political savvy when she
don't have any. There. Kamala Harris, every position she's ever had, she's done favors to obtain. I'm not gonna be crude, but she doesn't have any political savvy. She can't display something she don't have. She ain't never had to actually run for no position where she actually had to have any principles, any policy, any strategy. Every position she's gotten, somebody put her in. Mm-hmm. That's real talk.
And our people should realize that Mitch McConnell and all of them were Romney and already came out and said he wasn't voting for Trump. So the Republican Party, if Biden wins the election and so forth, Mitch McConnell and all of them will rest peacefully and everything. They realize they don't have any opposition, because when Mitch McConnell and Barack Obama was disagreeing on issues and so forth, he would always say, "Well, send Joe." He said, "Send Joe." Send Joe over to the Senate, because he know what Biden is coming from.
Exactly. Not to mention the fact that Biden had basically worked with even the most evil archdevil bastard in Congress. That Jim Crow Joe Biden didn't have a problem with working from the most progressive lefty liberal that was elected all the way to the most rabid right-wing reactionary Republican ever elected. He's got a way to be able to get into and needle his way with all of them. That's why he had Joe, because Joe was going to be able to be his cat's paw, his white face to get the stuff done ostensibly that he wanted done. We all know it.
Yeah, we know it. And deep down in our soul, we know that Barack Obama and his family, they living in the Hamptons in a $16 million home and so forth.
Yep.
As and this gonna be my closing statement as that I would like to say in closing. I would like to say, if some people we've got to counsel. We've just got to counsel. It's, you know, we with the Roland Martins and all of these people. They just got to be counseled.
They got to go.
That Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, and all already said that Adolf is anti-immigration. Where he come up with that? He's got to be counseled. And Al Sharpton has got to be counseled. All these people have got it. Don't we realize that we've got to have some different blood, some different spirituality? Don't we realize that these people are going to still be living in their mansions and so forth? But in closing, I like to use. I would like to refer to something that Jesus said to the rich young ruler when he came to him and asked him how could he be saved. You know, the rich young ruler came to Jesus and he said, "How can I be saved?" And Jesus said, "Well, give your riches to the poor and follow me."
Yep.
So if they're not willing to sacrifice their riches and so forth to help us get our justice claim, they got to be counseled.
Yep.
Ice Cube don't know how to put Ice Cube. I was just going on Google to see his net worth. To even see that his net worth is something that, you know, he's a multi-millionaire. He's not a millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. But he's putting a lot on the line and so forth, you know, because, you know, he's putting a lot on the line, and these people that talk. These celebrities and stuff that say that they from the black community, they're not from our community. They live in mostly predominantly white community, and they trying to speak for us. They really not speaking for us. We've got to counsel them.
Facts.
You know, it's a lot of people we got to counsel.
I agree,
okay,
brother Victor. Hey, always a pleasure to hear from you, brother Elder. Thank you so much, man, for call. Before I go, fam, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, I want to ask one thing. Saturday, would y'all like for me to open it up and we have a general discussion? Because we haven't done that in a minute. And those are real popular, just kind of any topic, anything that people want to talk about. Papa one in the chat if y'all down to show up on Sucker Free Saturday for a kind of open forum, any topic, everything's on the table discussion. This way people that haven't had a chance to call in can get a chance to call in. We can open up a lot of different topics or whatever the case. Maybe put Papa one in the chat if you're interested in something like that. And before I go, I want to address Brother Lion. I hope your brother. You know, whatever. Lion, I want you to understand something, man. Skinfolk don't trump kinfolk, right? If I got a motherfucker that look like me, that's cool, right? I might have some commonality with them or whatever the case may be. That's fine, right? But my kin is my kin. My kin is my people, right? I'm never supposed to elevate somebody that I might have something in common with over somebody I do have something in common with. I don't hate skin folk, but I don't need them in my business, right? They got their own shit to address, right? Africa got a lot of nerve to come talking to me about anything when they 54 different nations, thousands of different tribes, thousands of different ethnic groups, thousands of different languages. Unify y'all shit and then come and talk to me. Brother Malcolm was ours. You don't get to quote Brother Malcolm to me in support of trying to support me falling head over heels and muling for other people that ain't me. Brother Malcolm was mine. He's my brother. He sits with my ancestors. I don't need you coming over here trying to shame us into some mythical ass unity that don't even exist over on the motherfucking continent. Right? Go talk to them. Go talk to Africa about unification. Go talk to Africa about ending tribalism and wars of brother against brother over there. Go talk to Africa about setting aside some resources, some land, some citizenship, some place for us to stand under the sun. Africa got it all, and we ain't got shit. But you over here talking to us about our skin folk. Go talk to our skin folk. Because if you ain't over there trying to talk to them, if you over here in America trying to talk to me about what the fuck is going on over there, you take your ass over there. Africa's so great. Africa, our natural home. Africa's supposed to have us ready and willing and waiting for us to have ours. Then why ain't your ass there? Where you at? I don't have to hate them to love mine. And I don't have to kiss their ass to love mine. Africa has made it clear to me at this current point that they don't owe me shit, Lion. So guess what? I don't owe Africa anything. Nothing at all. My work is here. My ancestors' bones is buried here. I ain't in love with white folks to say that. That's facts. I'm not no lost child with no homeland, with no people, with no place. I'm an American. My people are black people. My ancestors built this goddamn country, and I will have my due. Come hell or hot water. And then, if we want to have a discussion about Africa, we can talk about that. Personally, I think we should be having real conversations about Africa. But this old mamby-pamby, it's the motherland, and you hating your skin folk shit, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. My skin folk ain't got no problem coming over here and trampling over me to run up next to them white folks you claim we love so damn much. Sorry, fam, but miss us with that. You in the wrong place to make that argument, fam. Because I'm not the dude. I ain't kissing the ass of no white folk, and I ain't kissing the ass of no so-called skin folk. I got one people that I'm responsible for. That is the descendants of the enslaved in the United States. My tribe. My people. Period. Point blank. The goddamn end. So, fam, on that note, I want to thank you all. I know this one ran long, but hey, it was a great discussion. Fam, Saturday, I'm leaning towards kind of an open forum. I know, Black Man, you said you love my broadcast or whatever the case may be. Lion, I ain't going to be called a fool on my own fucking channel. So you know what? How about this? How about you go some motherfucking where else? All right? Since I'm so foolish, you over here listening to me, but I'm the fool. Nigga, fuck you. Right? Fam, I love y'all. I want to wish y'all all peace, prosperity, power to our people. Be here Saturday. We're going to open it up. We're going to talk about everything from the election to COVID to the economy to whatever. It's going to be all y'all all the time, right? Family, I love you. You know, I'm going to always be about doing what is best as I can see it for us. And if that makes me a fool to everybody else, in the words of my tribesman, Red Man, I'll be that. Catch y'all all Saturday, fam. Peace.